ഉദ്ഘാടനം നിർവഹിക്കുന്നത് ULCCS ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ രമേശൻ പാലേരി അവർകളാണ്. ഒരു മുഖവിരയുടെയോ പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തലിന്റെയോ ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത വിധം പ്രശസ്തനും പ്രഗത്ഭമതിയുമായ രമേശേട്ടന്റെ മുഖമുദ്ര മനുഷ്യസ്നേഹമാണ്. പാർശ്വവൽക്കരിക്കപ്പെട്ട ജനങ്ങളുടെ സാമ്പത്തികവും സാമൂഹികവുമായ ഉന്നമനത്തിനായി തൊഴിൽ മേഖലയിലും വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ മേഖലയിലും നിരവധിയായ നൂതന പദ്ധതികൾ നടപ്പാക്കുന്നതിന് അമരക്കാരനായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന രമേശേട്ടനെ സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം അതിലേറെ ആദരവോടെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഈ പരിപാടിയുടെ അധ്യക്ഷം വഹിക്കുന്നത് ശ്രീ EK കുട്ടി സാർ അവർകളാണ്. ISROയുടെ ഡയറക്ടറും വിജ്ഞാനദാഹികളായ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ പരിപോഷിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിനും സഹായിക്കുന്നതിനും തന്റെ റിട്ടയർമെന്റ് ജീവിതം ഒഴിഞ്ഞുവെച്ച ശ്രീ EK കുട്ടി സാർ UL എഡ്യൂക്കേഷന്റെ കീഴിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ജീവനാഡിയാണ്. ബഹിരാകാശ കുതുകികളായ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾക്ക് വിജ്ഞാനത്തിന്റെ വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു നൽകുന്നതിനു വേണ്ടി സ്പേസ് ക്യാമ്പുകളും വെബിനാറുകളും സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിന് നേതൃത്വം നൽകുന്ന ശ്രീ EK കുട്ടി സാറിനെ വളരെ ആദരപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ മുഖ്യ അതിഥിയായി എത്തുന്നത് UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബ് കുടുംബത്തിലെ അംഗവും IISTയുടെ രജിസ്ട്രാറുമായ ഡോക്ടർ YVN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി അവർകളാണ്. UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ആഭിമുഖ്യത്തിൽ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കപ്പെട്ട വെബിനാറിൽ പ്രബന്ധം അവതരിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ടാണ് സ്പേസ് ക്ലബ് കുടുംബത്തിലെ അംഗമായി വന്നത്. കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ആവശ്യമായ മാർഗനിർദ്ദേശങ്ങൾ നൽകുകയും IISTയുടെ നിരവധിയായിട്ടുള്ള സഹായങ്ങൾ ഈ ഡോക്ടർ YVN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി അവർകളിൽ നിന്ന് ലഭിക്കുകയും ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഡോക്ടർ YVN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി അവർകളെ ആദരവോടെ അഭിമാനപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. On behalf of ULCCS Foundation, I proudly welcome Dr. YVN Krishnamurthy. Welcome you, sir. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന മറ്റൊരു വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തിയാണ് PJ ഭട്ട് സാർ. അദ്ദേഹവും UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബ് കുടുംബത്തിലെ അംഗമാണ്. UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ആഭിമുഖ്യത്തിൽ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കപ്പെട്ട എല്ലാ സ്പേസ് ക്യാമ്പുകളിലും സജീവ സാന്നിധ്യമായിരുന്ന PJ ഭട്ട് സാർ തുടർന്നുള്ള എല്ലാ വെബിനാറുകളിലും സാന്നിധ്യമായി മാറുകയും ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ശ്രീ PJ ഭട്ട് സാറിനെ ഹൃദയപൂർവ്വം ആദരപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ജ്യോതിബാൽ സാറ്, ശിവരാമൻ സാർ, പത്മനാഭൻ സാർ തുടങ്ങിയ കേരളത്തിനകത്തും പുറത്തുമുള്ള നിരവധി പ്രതിഭാധനന്മാരായ ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞന്മാരും പ്രൊഫസർമാരും ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അവരെ എല്ലാവരെയും അഭിമാനപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അനുമോദനങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റുവാങ്ങുന്നതിനായി ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന ശ്രീ UK ഷജിൽ മാസ്റ്റർ തന്റെ അറിവും കഴിവും ചിന്തകളും തന്റെ സ്കൂളിന്റെ മതിൽക്കെട്ടിനകത്ത് ഒതുക്കി നിർത്താതെ വിശാലമായ മേഖലകളിലേക്ക് വ്യാപിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് വിജ്ഞാനദാഹികളായ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾക്ക് അറിവ് പകരുന്നതിനായി വിവിധങ്ങളായ പരിപാടികൾ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുകയും നേതൃത്വം കൊടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ മേഖലയിൽ വ്യക്തിമുദ്ര പതിപ്പിച്ചതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായാണ് സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാർ മികച്ച അധ്യാപകർക്കുള്ള സംസ്ഥാന അവാർഡ് നൽകി ആദരിച്ചത്. ശ്രീ UK ഷജിൽ മാസ്റ്റർക്ക് അവാർഡ് ലഭിച്ചതിലുള്ള സന്തോഷം പങ്കിടുന്നതോടൊപ്പം സാറിനെ ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് സഹർഷം സ്വാഭിമാനം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ആര്യ രാജ് ഒരു വിസ്മയമാണെന്ന് തന്നെ പറയാം. എല്ലാവിധ ശാരീരിക വിഷമതകളെയും വെല്ലുവിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് +2 പരീക്ഷയിൽ 1200 മാർക്കിൽ 1200 മാർക്കും വാങ്ങിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് മികച്ച വിജയം കൈവരിച്ചിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ബഹിരാകാശ പഠന മേഖലയിൽ വലിയ താല്പര്യം കാണിക്കുന്നതിനും ആ മേഖലയിൽ പഠിക്കുന്നതിനാവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ സാധ്യതകളും ആരാഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടും അതിന്റെ ഒരു തീരുമാനം എടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോവുകയാണ് ആര്യ രാജ്. അതിനുവേണ്ട സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കുന്നതിന് സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ വിവിധ ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് വിവിധ മേഖലകളിലുള്ളവര് തയ്യാറായി ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ ഈ വിജയത്തിന് ആശംസകൾ അർപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ആര്യ രാജിനെ ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് സന്തോഷപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഈ പരിപാടിയോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ആഭിമുഖ്യത്തിലുള്ള 40ാമത്തെ വെബിനാർ നടക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ വെബിനാറിൽ പ്രബന്ധം അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിലെ അംഗങ്ങളായ ആര്യ രാജ്, നവനീത് S, അഭിരാം TP എന്നിവരാണ്. ഈ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ വളരെ സന്തോഷപൂർവ്വം സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന ULCCS മാനേജിംഗ് ഡയറക്ടർമാരെയും അംഗങ്ങളെയും സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെയും അധ്യാപകരെയും രക്ഷിതാക്കളെയും ഹൃദയപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി സ്വാഗതമേകുകയാണ്. ഈ പരിപാടിക്ക് നന്ദി പറയുന്ന സോമൻ മാസ്റ്ററെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് അധ്യക്ഷ സ്ഥാനത്തേക്ക് ശ്രീ EK കുട്ടി സാറെ സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം ക്ഷണിക്കുകയാണ്.
വളരെ നന്ദി ദാമോദരൻ മാഷ്. So we are here today for two important events, and I'm extremely happy to welcome various dignitaries, specialists, professors, students, and very, very important personalities who have contributed in the growth of UL space. We have today Dr. Y.V.N. Krishnamurthy, the Registrar, Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Trivandrum, online. He is a very well-known personality for almost all in the Space Club. He was, before coming to IIST, he was the director of a very big center, National Remote Sensing Service Center, Hyderabad. He had served the community of agriculturists, fishermen, and whatnot, the people who see the benefit from space. That center serves a great deal of things. So he's a great man and a good friend of mine for a long time. So I welcome for a second time Y.V.N. Krishnamurthy. And Dr. Krishnamurthy has been nurturing our students, and whenever they want a program, they are free to contact him. And many of our children, including Varun, who has today introduced the program, he keeps talking to them. So they are like our students only. They don't show their huge response there. So I welcome him again. So also PJ Bhatt. PJ Bhatt is a very good friend of us, and is their part and parcel of Space Club. Now, in addition, we have today various dignitaries, District Judge R.L. Baiju sir, Dr. Roshan Bijli, and very many people. These two personalities are coming for a first time in our program, and I extend a hearty welcome to them. And there are very, very more personalities. Dr. Vinod Prasad of IIT Palghat, who is right now a professor abroad, Hong Kong University, and he is also taking a lot of interest in our students. And I am very, very happy to be amongst all of you and the students of UL Space Club and ULCC President Ramesh Valeri sir and ULCC Secretary Shajil. They are all with us. We are sitting in one place in Badagara, the main headquarters of ULCCS. Yes. Now, today we are here for a first responsibility we have is to honor, to felicitate our student Arya Raj and also the teacher Shajil UK. Both of them are the proud daughter and son of Kozhikode, Kerala and India. Arya Raj has been a very, very bright student from day one and has attained lot of accolades. She has received lot of awards and prizes for her various achievements. Today, she is sitting here as a proud student of UL Space Club. In fact, she has come to us for a first time in 2017 in Sargalaya, Vadagara, a very close place. And there, she was, at that time itself, she was visited with the district collector, Prashant of Calicut, district collector. So also our famous novelist Mukundan, he came and greeted her, honored her that day. And very many of us, and the president of the UL Space Club, Ramesh Valeri sir, was also there on that occasion. They were all, we all recognized as talent at that time itself, some 4 or 5 years ago. So this is the kind of girl she is, and now she has attained, as Damodar Marsh said, 1,200 or 1,200 mark. Wherever she puts her foot, there is a mark of her foot on the ground. So she has done it great, and and I feel it's a great honor to honor her at this time, and we are very, very happy that she is here and her parents are also here with us. And she wants to study in space. She wants a very specific area of astrobiology. She's very keen of it. From very, very first time I met her, she's talked about this, and we have got actually our Gaganyaan initial director, Dr. Unnikrishnan, here in Calicut University for a program, and introduced her also to him. And she has been getting into that area to the extent we are able to promote it. So we are very, very happy, and we are going to honor her in this occasion. Similarly, Mr. Shajil UK, the teacher, I have known him ever since I started my activity in Calicut in 2014-15 time frame, and since then he has been a part and parcel of Space Club students, and everything is organized by him. Without him, it is very difficult for us to think of any activity in your Space Club, and he is a teacher par excellence. If we have got in every school a teacher of his kind, this is not my words, many of the people who have known him through our activity have said that if we have got one Shajil Marsh in every school, the kind of ambience in the school will be very different. So this itself explains how he can, how he has got this kind of a honor. He has got Gurusreshta award first from actually gurus, a group of very highly well-known teachers in India. They have honored him as Gurusreshta award, and now Kerala government has honored him the best teacher. So we are here in that occasion, and I'm very, very happy to introduce these two awardees, and our function is to honor him. I request our president, Balai Rameshan sir, to inaugurate the felicitation function.
ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട വൈസ് കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി സാർ, രജിസ്ട്രാർ AASD, ശ്രീ PJ ഭട്ട് സാർ, ഡെപ്യൂട്ടി ഡയറക്ടർ URSC ബാംഗ്ലൂർ, PK കുട്ടി സാർ, ആര്യ രാജ്, അതുപോലെ ഷജിൽ മാഷ്, മറ്റ് പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, സ്പേസ് ക്ലബ് PK കുട്ടി സാറുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ കോവിഡ് പ്രതിസന്ധികൾക്കിടയിലും ഓൺലൈനിലൂടെ അഭിമാനകരമായി മുന്നോട്ട് പോവുകയാണ്. കോവിഡ് കാലം ശരിക്കും അവസരമാക്കി മാറ്റുകയാണ് ചെയ്തത്. ലോകത്തെ പ്രമുഖ ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞരുടെയും ടെക്നോക്രാറ്റുകളുടെയും ക്ലാസുകളും വെബിനാറുകളും സംവാദങ്ങളും കൊണ്ട് സമ്പുഷ്ടമായത് ഈ കാലയളവിൽ. സ്പേസ് ക്ലബ് നടത്തിവരുന്ന സെമിനാറുകൾ ഈ രംഗത്തെ പ്രഗത്ഭരുടെ ശ്രദ്ധ ആകർഷിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇന്നത്തെ സെമിനാർ അതിൽ വളരെ സവിശേഷമുള്ളതായി ഞാൻ കരുതുന്നു. കുട്ടിസാറും നിരവധി ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞരും ക്ലാസുകളിലൂടെയും ഇടപെടലുകളുടെയും വളർത്തിയെടുത്ത കുട്ടികളാണ് ഇന്നത്തെ വെബിനാർ നേതൃത്വം നൽകുന്നത്. ഇത് അഭിമാനകരവും ഏറെ സന്തോഷവും നൽകുന്നു. ദാമോദരൻ മാഷും അതുപോലെ സോമൻ മാഷ്, ഷജിൽ മാഷ്, ഇവരുടെയൊക്കെ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ പ്രശംസനീയമാണ്. ഈ വർഷത്തെ സംസ്ഥാന അധ്യാപക അവാർഡ് ഷജിൽ മാഷൊക്കെ ലഭിച്ചത് അത്ഭുതപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. അറിയിക്കുന്ന അംഗീകാരമായാണ് കാണുന്നത്. മാഷെ ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ അഭിനന്ദിക്കുന്നു. ഒപ്പം തുടർന്ന് സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിനൊപ്പം കൂടുതലായി സജീവമായി ഉണ്ടാവുമെന്ന് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ ഡോക്ടർ YBN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി സാർ, PJ ഭട്ട് സാറ് പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നത് അഭിമാനകരമാണ്. ഇവരൊക്കെ സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ഭാഗമാകുന്നത് വഴി ഇതിന്റെ മൂല്യം വർദ്ധിക്കുകയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Thanks to both for spending your valuable time with your students of Space Club. നമ്മുടെ സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിൽ തുടക്കം മുതലേയുള്ള ആര്യ രാജിനെ ആദരിക്കുന്ന ചടങ്ങ് കൂടിയാണ് ഇത്. നമ്മളെയൊക്കെ അത്ഭുതപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന ഒരു ഇച്ഛാശക്തിയും മനോധൈര്യവും ആര്യക്കുണ്ട്. സെറിബ്രൽ പാൾസി രോഗബാധിതയായ ഒരു കുട്ടി സ്കൂളിൽ പോയി പഠനം നടത്തിയത് കേരളത്തിലെ ആദ്യ സംഭവമാണ്. SLC പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് ഫുൾ A+ നേടി. ഇപ്പോൾ ഹയർ സെക്കൻഡറി പരീക്ഷയിൽ 1200 മാർക്കിൽ 1200 മാർക്ക് നേടി അഭിമാനമായത് ഒരുപക്ഷെ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ തന്നെ ആദ്യമായിരിക്കാം. ആര്യയുടെ ആഗ്രഹം ഐസർ പഠിക്കണമെന്ന്, ആസ്ട്രോബയോളജിസ്റ്റ് ആവണമെന്നാണ്. പ്രതിസന്ധികളെ മറികടന്ന് ലക്ഷ്യത്തിലേക്ക് എത്താൻ തീർച്ചയായും ആര്യയ്ക്ക് കഴിയട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഈ പരിപാടിക്ക് എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഈ പരിപാടി ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്ത് അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
താങ്ക്സ് സർ. ഈ പരിപാടിയുടെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം നടന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇനി അടുത്തത് ആര്യരാജിനെയും ഷജിൽ മാഷയെയും ഫെലിസിറ്റേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യമാണ്. ആദ്യമായി ഞാൻ ഡോക്ടർ YVN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തിയെ I request Dr. YVN Krishnamurthy to felicitate this student Arya Raj and our teacher Shajil UK. Dr. Krishnamurthy.
Thank you, Dr. Kuti sir, and also it's a pleasure for me to have such dignitaries. Especially I look forward first for my colleagues, Sri Padmanabhan and our PJ Bhatt sir. Namaste. And also I should salute the UL Space Club for extraordinary efforts which they are doing in bringing students together, young minds together, and especially the way they are conducting the programs, the confidence. So the support given by ULCCS Limited Chairman Pillai sir and Ramasheshan Pallari, and also the new colleagues who have joined, the district judge and also Mr. Vinod Prasad and others, and especially the young friends. It's a privilege for me to be here. And Kuti Saab told about this program. First, I joined here now to learn something, not that I come and speak something. And it's especially from a person like Arya Raj, who is a specially enabled person. And such people are the one who can really explore into this difficult subject of astrobiology. Because what we see, what we understand, what we learned from someone else is easy to comprehend and move forward. But to go beyond what is there in our space or in other planets, or is there any life elsewhere, and it's in what form, in its which environment, how does it exist, which we don't have any, we have only some only broad concepts, but there is nothing much in concrete in which we can further. However, the humankind is always for exploration, and especially for a person like Arya Raj, I have no words to say, because she will definitely give leads, and that will be from this country. I have no doubts on that. The way she is progressing in her academics, and then what is her ambition and her goal is very clear. So whenever someone is so focused and to learn something, that is where the achievements come. I will only quote one example, Arya Raj. Here, many countries went to moon. They brought samples. Okay, it's a glory. But India is a country which didn't have much of money. We had to really struggle to get the Chandrayaan-1 first. So many times, at least I am aware, and I am also part of it, to go to the planning commission and ask for the small money what we need. And then, but we have a clear purpose. Our goal is clear. With the whatever little money we have, can we go explore and find, is there water or presence of water on moon? So there is a direction in which India, especially ISRO and the colleagues who are there, some of here, that is their goal in which we have to go. So we try to look in the instruments across the globe. We gave an announcement of opportunity, and that made us to find that mission. Chandrayaan-1 was the mission which gave the indications of hydroxy molecules on moon. That's a good beginning. So it's also the purpose. So you are a special person, you are special enabled, and then you have a goal, and I have no doubt that way you are trying to look into your exploring science, especially a subject like astrobiology, because it covers very many subjects. Which a subject you would look into? Biophysics, biochemistry, molecular biology, or geology, paleontology, everything, and it's engulfed into it. It's difficult to look into from a normal person's like me to understand what it is. So for a person like you, it'll be a great honor for all of us to be with you today, and and it's a privilege to felicitate you on this special occasion, and I wish that you will achieve your goal, and I have no doubts in it. Not the people who are attending here, we all are with you, and you will create a great job. God bless you with all the best things to happen, and that is what I can bless you on this particular day. And also our master Shajil. In fact, he is such a wonderful person. He is very calm, quiet, composed. There are two things what I was told when I joined ISRO is by Mr. Rajan, Y.S. Rajan, then the scientific secretary. He just mentioned, sir, you are putting me in Nagpur called the Regional Remote Sensing Center, Service Center. There's one of the best computing facility which is there. What I'm supposed to do? Because we are all taught to how to handle that wax learned by 780 machine. He only told two things. Krishnamurti, if they want to do something on that, let them do. Stand by. If they want you to do something, do it. So the same thing our master Shajil does. If students are doing and guiding, he allows them to go to whatever extent they would like to go. That's a great part. There's a great, nice part of a teacher to allow their students to explore further, engage with different experts, faculty, scientists on their own. On their own, they're contacting. That's what the feedback I get, and they do a fantastic job. But then, whenever you conduct something, it has to be also culminating into some activity. That culmination, how to bring the comprehensively what happened in a particular event, what did we learn, all this kind of a documentation and putting through and to the next people. That is where our Shajil master does it. And that's a great privilege, sir, to be all of you with all of you. And the second part is the introduction, whatever is being given in Malayalam. It's more of a Sanskrit word, so I understood most of the things, okay, being part of it. So we all keep learning with interacting with one another, and that's every day I feel it's a part of a learning. And along with the collaboration with IAST too, we are doing a great job. So once again, I congratulate Shajil Masterji and also wish that he'll get many more awards in the days to come, and that's our wish to put through. Thank you once again, Kuti Saab, for this opportunity, and we'll be awaiting. I'll be awaiting, especially for hearing Arya Raj and other two speakers. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Krishnamurti. And in fact, Arya Raj should be happy to know that Dr. Krishnamurti is astrobiologist for our October 9th webinar as a part of the World Space Week. And a lot of competitions are planned by our students, and it will be culminating in the talk on October 9th. And Dr. Krishnamurti is contributing his mind for that. Last year also in World Space Time, Dr. Krishnamurti has organized a program for us. A very nice program. Thank you very much, sir. So nice of you for being part of us here today. And I request next our good friend PJ Bhatt to say a few words in felicitation.
Namaste. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I felt that is the apt way to start today's talk of mine. Respected Shri Ramasheshan Kaliri sir, my friend Dr. Krishnamurti, Kuti sir, and most respected persons here include from judiciary, we have from academics and from institutions and all that. Then my friends, senior friends, including my Guruji Pappan, and our special star of attraction today, Arya Raj, and our Shajil Master. That's what our Kuttis are always calls him. So I like that. To call him like that. So, and my young friends of UL Space Club. It's an honor. I consider it an honor today to be here in these kind of functions, which has two things. One is a unique combination. Today we are felicitating a unique combination of a very, very successful teacher and a very, very successful student. And then followed by that, we have presentations from 3 of the students, because this is what I always wait for. I have seen in this ULSC Place Club, we have already got a taste of it last time. Some two students have presented, and this was such a nice thing. So I consider it an honor. Coming to felicitation, especially Arya Raj. Arya, we are all very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. What an achievement. I know Arya since almost 3 to 4 years. It was one of the space camps in Calicut where I met her. And the very first interaction with her itself, made me feel that something, this girl will do something. Definitely she will achieve something, and she has done it today. And she is going to do much more in future. I really say hats off to her parents. I happened to see that video, YouTube video, which Kutti sir shared today in our Bayakasha group. I went through, even though it's in Malayalam, as Krishnamurti sir told, good part of it is in Sanskrit, so we can understand that. So I went through that total video. Some part of it I was not aware about Arya. I came to know today. And kudos to her parents and her teachers who have helped her to be what she is today. I can understand the kind of patience they have gone through for doing this. I am sure, Arya, your dreams would come true. You want to pursue your course studies in astrobiology and make a career in astrobiology. Such a nice thing to hear that. I am 100% sure you will be successful, and we are all there with you. As Dr. Krishnamurti told, I also add to that we are all with you, Arya, all the time. And I wish you all the best. Our blessings to you. Our friend Shajil sir. I mean, Shajil sir is every time a UL Place Club webinar happens, I just watch the way he speaks. I have seen it. He sums up the whole thing in such a nice way. At a very short time, he conveys several things. I have seen that. Not only that, I know Shajil sir for the last almost 4 years, 3 to 4 years. I met him also in one of those space camps, and thereafterwards I have been together with him. I know many of his UL Space Club students who are under him, under his guidance. And I have seen many of his achievements directly or indirectly. I still remember that famous Mangalayaan episode which was enacted in one of the space camps. The way he and his friends have trained those young students to enact that, such a nice thing it was. I can go on telling many things. So very aptly, it is very good that teacher. I wish that teachers like Shajil, many teachers like Shajil, are available all over the country, because I just want to tell this because in my childhood I have seen teachers. Many of you here elders would have seen teachers in childhood. I have seen many of those teachers, but today it's difficult to find. Sometimes I'm very sorry to say that teachers are that's in number, but teachers like Shajil, let them sprout everywhere and let all the students benefit. Sir, congratulations to you for the award, which is definitely befitting to you, and I wish you many more awards in future. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, but
with this I end my talk just by saying one thing, that let there be students of type of Arya Raj, let there be students of type of Shajil sir, many in the years to come. Thank you so much.
Many thanks, Vatsab. It's been a very nice thing to hear you talk so closely and nicely about the student and the teacher. Now we would like to have a few more felicitations, and we have with us Fisher, Arya's now become a great friend of Arya and keeps visiting her home frequently with the judge R.L. Baiju sir. I request R.L. Baiju sir to say a few words on this occasion.
Thank you, Guti sir. Respected Krishnamurthy sir, Bhatt sir, Patnavan sir, Ramesh Chatan, all other dignitaries. As Bhatt sir just mentioned, I will first talk about Shajil sir. Shajil sir is having a capacity to comprehend things and to reproduce it in a very brief manner because I think it is because he is a lawyer also. He is an LLB graduate, and apart from that, he is a psychologist also. So all these are joined in one person, and therefore he will be having that ability. There is no doubt about it. ഇപ്പം ഷജിൽ സാറ് ഞാൻ പരിചയപ്പെടുന്നത് കുറച്ച് കാലങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പാണ്. നേരത്തെ ഭട്ട് സാർ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ നമുക്ക് അന്യം നിന്ന് പോകുന്ന ഒരു എക്സ്റ്റിങ്ക്റ്റ് ആയി പോകുന്ന ഒരു സ്പീഷീസ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ്, ആ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിന്റെ ഒരു സ്പീഷീസിൽ കാണുന്ന ഒരാളാണ് ഞാൻ ഷജിൽ സാറ്. നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി ടീച്ചേഴ്സിന്റെ റോള്, ഒരു റോൾ ഷിഫ്റ്റിംഗ് ശരിക്കും മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്ന ആളാണ്. നേരത്തെ ഒരു പ്രൊഫസർ, ഹി യൂസ് ടു ടീച്ച് സംതിങ്, ഹി യൂസ് ടു പ്രൊഫസ് സംതിങ്, ആൻഡ് വി സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആർ ഡെസ്റ്റൈൻഡ് ടു ഹിയർ ദിസ് നോൺസെൻസ് ഓൾ ത്രൂ ഔട്ട് എന്നുള്ള ആ ഒരു ഫിലോസഫി ഈസ് നൗ ഗിവൺ അവേ ബൈ ഷജിൽ സാർ. He is only a facilitator. He is not a teacher. He used to facilitate students. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു അധ്യാപകനെ പരിചയപ്പെടാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പം അത്രയും വളരെ പെട്ടെന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയത്തോട് ചേർന്ന് വന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അങ്ങനെ ഞങ്ങൾ കോഴിക്കോട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കൂട്ടായ്മയുടെ ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പിന്റെ പാർട്ടായിട്ട് കണക്റ്റഡ് ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റീവ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്താണ് ഷജിൽ സാറും കുട്ടി സാറും കൂടി ആര്യയെ എനിക്ക് പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തി തരുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ എനിക്ക് ആര്യയുടെ വീട്ടിൽ പോകാനുള്ള ഒരു ഭാഗ്യം ലഭിച്ചു. ആര്യയോട് കുറെ സമയം സംസാരിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു. ആര്യയുടെ അച്ഛനമ്മമാരോടൊക്കെ കുറെ സമയം സംസാരിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു. ആര്യയുടെ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു. അതിനോടൊപ്പം നിൽക്കണമെന്ന് ആഗ്രഹിക്കാനുള്ള അവസരം കിട്ടി. അതിന് വിനോദ് സാർ അടക്കമുള്ള ആളുകളൊക്കെ നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ തന്നെ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും അതിന്റെ ഓരോരോ കാര്യങ്ങൾ അപ്ഡേഷനും ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് കൂടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഡോക്ടർ റോഷൻ ബിജിലിയാണ് അതിന്റെ വലിയൊരു പാർട്ട്. ആര്യയെ പറ്റി ആര്യയെ ഡിസ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് മെഡിക്കലി ഓർ ക്ലിനിക്കലി ഹൗ വി ക്യാൻ ഡിസ്ക്രൈബ് ആര്യ എന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. ആര്യയെ നമുക്ക് ഓരോ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ പ്രൊജക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്, അച്ചീവ്മെന്റ്സ് പ്രൊജക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി. അപ്പൊ അതിനുള്ള എല്ലാ സഹായം ചെയ്തു തരികയും ആര്യയുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്ക് എൻ്റെ കുട്ടിയൊക്കെ വരികയും ചെയ്ത റോഷൻ ബിജിലി ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഇത്രയൊക്കെ ആമുഖമായി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ അധികം സമയം കളയാതെ, ഷജിൽ സാർ ഗുരുശ്രേഷ്ഠ അവാർഡ് നേടിയ ആളാണ്. ഏറ്റവും അർഹനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളും കൂടിയാണ്. ആ ഒരു അവാർഡിന് ഏറ്റവും അർഹനായിട്ട് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ചുറ്റും കാണുന്ന ടീച്ചേഴ്സിന്റെ കൂട്ടത്തിൽ എനിക്ക് തന്നെ, എൻ്റെ വൈഫ് ടീച്ചറാണ്, അവരുടെ ഒരുപാട് സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ ടീച്ചറാണ്, എൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ ഒരു അധ്യാപകനായിരുന്നു, എൻ്റെ ഫാദറിലെ ഒരു അധ്യാപകനാണ്. അങ്ങനെ എല്ലാ അധ്യാപകരുടെയും കൂട്ടത്തിൽ ഞാൻ വെച്ച് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ അവാർഡിന് വളരെ അർഹനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളാണ് ഷജിൽ മാഷ് എന്നുള്ളത് നിസ്സംശയം പറയാൻ കഴിയും. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഈ അവാർഡ് ലഭിച്ചതിൽ എല്ലാ കൺഗ്രാജുലേഷൻസും അറിയിക്കുന്നതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഇനി അങ്ങോട്ട് ഒരുപാട് ദൂരം പോകാനുണ്ട്. ഈ അവാർഡ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഒരു ബാധ്യത കൂടിയാണ്. കാരണം ഇനി അങ്ങോട്ടുള്ള യാത്രയിൽ ഈ ഒരു ക്വാളിറ്റി ഇനി അദ്ദേഹം താഴാനും പറ്റില്ല ഒരിക്കലും. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ മുകളിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള ഒരു വലിയ പ്രചോദനമാണ്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അദ്ദേഹം മുകളിലേക്ക് തന്നെ പോകും. നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാം പ്രൈഡായിട്ട് മാറുന്ന കാര്യത്തിൽ ഒരു സംശയമില്ല. ആര്യ അതുപോലെ, ആര്യയുടെ ചെറുപ്പകാലം മുതലുള്ള എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു എനിക്ക് ആര്യയുടെ വീട്ടിലെത്തി. സ്കൂളിൽ പോകാൻ തുടങ്ങുന്ന കാലത്ത് എല്ലാ പ്രതിസന്ധികളെയും തരണം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് സ്കൂളിൽ പോകണമെന്ന് കൂടെയുള്ള ആളുകൾ പോകുന്നത് കണ്ടിട്ട് ബാഗും എടുത്തിട്ട് പോകുന്ന പോലെ ഒക്കെ ആക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടൊക്കെ പോയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ, അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് പിന്നീടുള്ള സ്കൂളിങ്ങിന്റെ ഓരോ സ്റ്റേജസിലും നടത്തിയ സ്ട്രഗിളുകൾ, അവൾക്ക് സയൻസ് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്ന് വീട്ടുകാർ പോലും സംശയം പ്രകടിപ്പിച്ചും അതല്ല ഐ ക്യാൻ ഡു ഇറ്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് അതിലേക്ക് പോകാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞതും ഇതെല്ലാം ഒരു വലിയ ഒരു അച്ചീവ്മെന്റ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. ഇനിയും സാറും ഭട്ട് സാറും ഒക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി ഒരുപാട് ഉയരങ്ങൾ കീഴടക്കാണ്ട് ഞങ്ങളെല്ലാം ആര്യയുടെ കൂടെ ഉണ്ടാവും. ആര്യയ്ക്കും എല്ലാവിധ അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങളും ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ അർപ്പിക്കുകയാണ്. അതുപോലെ മുന്നോട്ടുള്ള പ്രയാണത്തിൽ എല്ലാ ആശംസകളും നേരാണ്. കൂടുതൽ സമയം കളയുന്നില്ല. എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now I request Dr. Vinod Prasad to say a few words. Sir, Dr. Vinod Prasad. He's talking from Hong Kong. He is our Palgad, professor of IIT Palgad, and right now in Hong Kong University on sabbatical.
Namaskaram, sir. Arya Raj, Shajil sir, Kuti sir, Paleri Ramesh sir, Krishnamurthy sir, PJ Bhatt sir, Baiju sir, Dr. Roshan Bijli, Professor Sundarajan, and all other esteemed dignitaries. Good evening. ഇതൊരു വളരെ ഓണറബിൾ ആൻഡ് മെമ്മറബിൾ നിമിഷമാണ് എനിക്കിത്. I am considering fortunate to be part of this community, especially facilitating Arya Raj and Shajil sir. I'll make it very short. Arya, what I have to say, ആര്യയോട് എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളത്, ഞാനൊരു അധ്യാപകനാണ്. നമ്മളുടെ ജോലി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കുട്ടികളെ ക്ലാസ് റൂമിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് മാത്രമല്ല. Because learning happens outside the classroom too. In fact, a lot of learning happens outside the classroom. അപ്പോൾ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് എല്ലാ തരത്തിലുള്ള മോട്ടിവേഷൻ കൊടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതും നമുക്ക് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള, ഒരു അധ്യാപകനെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ജോലിയാണ്. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഞങ്ങൾ പോലും പലപ്പോഴും, because we are human beings, normal human beings, so we quite natural occasionally, we get disappointed, frustrated for various reasons. Some of those reasons are beyond our control. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ഉള്ള സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ now I am becoming a student looking at Arya Raj. അപ്പം ആര്യയുടെ ഈ വിൽ പവർ ആൻഡ് ഡിറ്റർമിനേഷൻ അത് കാണുമ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളെപ്പോലുള്ളവർക്ക് ഒക്കേഷണലി സംഭവിക്കുന്ന ഫ്രസ്ട്രേഷൻ, ഡിസപ്പോയിൻമെൻറ്റിനൊന്നും we salute you. We have a lot of things to learn from you. അപ്പോൾ even though I am a teacher, I am a student in front of you for that perspective. Congratulations, Arya. You have done extremely well. We are all very happy for you, and we always will be with you in your future journey, and we would all like to see you climbing greater heights. Shajil sir, ഷജിൽ സാറിനെ പറ്റി ഇപ്പോൾ ബൈജു സാർ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത് സാറിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഡൊമൈൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് അഗെയിൻ കൺസ്ട്രെയിൻ വിത്തിൻ ദ ക്ലാസ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ഗ്രേറ്റ് മോട്ടിവേറ്റർ. കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഒരുപാട് ഗൈഡൻസ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പം ഞാൻ മുമ്പ് പറഞ്ഞ സെൻറ്റൻസ് ആണ്, ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ലേണിംഗ് ഹാപ്പൻസ് ഔട്ട്സൈഡ് ദ ക്ലാസ് റൂം. ഷജിൽ സാറുമായിട്ട് എനിക്കൊരു 2 മാസത്തെ പരിചയമുള്ളൂ, ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനേ ഉള്ളൂ. പക്ഷെ അതിന് ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ബൈജു സാറും കുട്ടി സാറും ഒക്കെ വാക്കുകൊണ്ട് വരച്ചിട്ട ഒരു രൂപമാണ്. വെരി എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, വളരെ ക്ഷമയോടുകൂടി, പേഷ്യൻസ് ആൻഡ് എ ഹോളിസ്റ്റിക് ടീച്ചർ ഇൻ ഓൾ വേസ്. കാരണം ടീച്ചർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കൽ മാത്രമല്ലല്ലോ. സോ കൺസോളിഡേഷൻ ഓഫ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് പോസിറ്റീവ് ക്വാളിറ്റീസ് ഫോർ എ ടീച്ചർ. അപ്പോൾ അതൊരു വലിയ ഭാഗ്യമാണ്. ഇൻഫാക്ട് UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിനും ആര്യയ്ക്കും മറ്റെല്ലാവർക്കും it's fortunate to get a great personality like Shajil sir. Sir, congratulations for this great award, and I'm sure that you will also go much higher heights and inspire a lot more students in the UL Space Club as well as outside the Space Club, and motivate a lot of Arya Raj in future. എല്ലാ നന്മകളും എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉണ്ടാവട്ടെ. കുട്ടി സാർ, thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod Prasad. It has been exciting initiation of a student and a teacher nicely. Now, I request Dr. Roshan Bijli, who is the director of CRC Calicut and who has been helping out medically, physiotherapy-wise and the therapy point of view and medical point of view, Arya Raj. As Judge Roshan Arul Bajisar said, Roshan Bijli has visited her few times and know her well about her conditions. And I request Dr. Roshan Bijli to say a few words. Dr. Roshan Bijli.
Respected Ramesh Chetan, respected Krishnamurthy sir, respected Bhatt sir, Baiju sir, Kutti sir, പ്രിയ ഷാജിൽ മാസ്റ്റർ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ആര്യ രാജ്, വളരെ സന്തോഷമുള്ളൊരു സമയമാണ്. കാരണം ഏറ്റവും അർഹരായ രണ്ടുപേരെ, അർഹിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിൽ അംഗീകാരം ലഭിച്ച രണ്ടുപേരെ ആദരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ചടങ്ങാണ്. ഗുരുശ്രേഷ്ഠനും ഉണ്ട് ഇവിടെ, ശിഷ്യശ്രേഷ്ഠയും ഉണ്ട് ഇവിടെ. നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ രണ്ട് വലിയ ഇൻസ്പയറിംഗ് ലൈഫ്സ് ആണ്. കാരണം രണ്ടുപേരെയും വ്യക്തിപരമായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് അറിയാവുന്നതാണ്. അവരുടെ ഒരു ഹാർഡ് വർക്ക്, പെർസിവറൻസ്, ഡിറ്റർമിനേഷൻ എല്ലാം നമുക്കൊക്കെ മാതൃകയായിട്ടുള്ള രണ്ട് മഹത് വ്യക്തിത്വങ്ങൾ തന്നെയാണ് ഇവര് രണ്ടുപേരും. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ അധികം ദീർഘിപ്പിക്കുന്നില്ല, കാരണം എല്ലാവരും ഇവിടെ സംസാരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇനി പ്രസന്റേഷൻസും ഉണ്ട്. എങ്കിലും ഷാജിൽ മാഷൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് ഒത്തിരി കാലം കൊണ്ട്, ഞങ്ങൾ ഏതാണ്ട് സതീർത്ഥ്യരാണ്, ആ കാലം മുതലേ ഉള്ള പരിചയമാണ്. അന്ന് മുതലേ താൻ ഏറ്റെടുക്കുന്ന ഏതൊരു കാര്യത്തോടും അങ്ങേറ്റ ആത്മാർത്ഥത കാണിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്. ബൈജു സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒന്നിച്ച് പല പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിൽ ഏർപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോഴൊക്കെ ആദരവും മതിപ്പും തോന്നുന്ന വ്യക്തിത്വമാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെത്. തീർച്ചയായും അർഹിക്കുന്ന അംഗീകാരമാണ്. ഇതിലും ഏറെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് സാധിക്കും. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അദ്ദേഹത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഇനിയും ഒരുപാട് വിദ്യാർത്ഥി സമൂഹത്തിനും പൊതുസമൂഹത്തിനും ഒക്കെ ലഭിക്കാനുണ്ട് എന്ന ഉത്തമ വിശ്വാസം എനിക്കുണ്ട്. അത് സംഭവിക്കുക തന്നെ ചെയ്യും. ആര്യരാജ് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ നമ്മുടെയൊക്കെ അഭിമാനമാണ്, കോഴിക്കോടിന്റെ ഒരു സ്വകാര്യ അഭിമാനമാണ് ആര്യരാജ് എന്ന് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് പറയാം. കാരണം നേരത്തെ വിനോദ് സാറൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും മറ്റ് ചെറിയ ചെറിയ കാര്യങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ ഫ്രസ്ട്രേറ്റഡോ ഡിസ്റ്റർബ്ഡോ ഒക്കെ ആകുമ്പോഴൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ജസ്റ്റ് ആര്യ ഒരു നിമിഷം ഒന്ന് ചിന്തിച്ചാൽ നമ്മുടെ അതെല്ലാം അപ്രത്യക്ഷമാവും. കാരണം അത്രയേറെ പെർസിവറൻസ്, ഡിറ്റർമിനേഷൻ കാണിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കുട്ടിയാണ്. എനിക്ക് നേരത്തെ അറിയാം. ഒപ്പം ആര്യയെ അതുപോലെ നോക്കുന്ന ആര്യയുടെ രക്ഷിതാക്കള് എടുത്തു പറയണം. കാരണം തൻ്റെ മകൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അത്രയേറെ അവര് കഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ട്, വ്യക്തിപരമായിട്ട് എനിക്കറിയാം. മാത്രമല്ല അവരുടെ ആ ഒരു ശ്രമവും ആത്മാർത്ഥതയും ആര്യയുടെ ഡിറ്റർമിനേഷനും ഒക്കെ കാണുമ്പം എല്ലാവരും നമ്മളങ്ങ് ഒത്തുചേരുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ബൈജു സാറൊക്കെ, ഷാജിൽ മാഷൊക്കെ അത്രയും തിരക്കുള്ള അവസരങ്ങളിൽ പോലും ക്ഷമിക്കണം, സാറൊക്കെ അത്രയ്ക്കും തിരക്കിൽ പോലും ആര്യയുടെ CV ഒക്കെ ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് സാറ് ഷാജിൽ മാഷൊക്കെ ഇരുന്ന് ചെയ്യുന്നു. സാറൊക്കെ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും ഒന്നോണം തന്നെ ആര്യയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൂടുന്നു. ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് ലീഗൽ സർവീസ് അതോറിറ്റി. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് കോഴിക്കോടിന്റെ കൈക്കുമ്പിളിൽ ആര്യയെ നമ്മൾ ഏറ്റെടുത്ത പോലെയാണുള്ളത്. ആര്യയുടെ എല്ലാ സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾക്കും ഞങ്ങളാൽ കഴിയുന്ന എല്ലാ സഹായവുമായിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ എപ്പോഴും കൂടെ ഉണ്ടാവും. രമേശ് ചേട്ടൻ്റെ ഒരു അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സൊസൈറ്റിയൊക്കെ അതിൽ കൂടുതൽ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാൻ സന്നദ്ധ അറിയിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നൊക്കെ ഞാൻ അറിഞ്ഞു. ഒത്തിരി സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. കാരണം ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള സുമനസ്സുകളുടെ ഒരു നാടാണ് നമ്മുടെ നാട്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ എല്ലാം ഒരു വലിയ നേട്ടവും ആര്യയ്ക്കുണ്ടാവും. വിൽ മേക്ക് us all proud, I am sure of that. എല്ലാ ഭാവുകങ്ങളും ആയിരിക്കും ഷാജിൽ മാഷിനും നേരാൻ ഈ അവസരം ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്തുകയാണ്. ഒത്തിരി സന്തോഷം. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you very much, Dr. Roshan Bijli. I understand there are some persons want to say a few words. Jyoti? Dr. Jyoti Vasu?
ഉണ്ട്.
Please come.
Yeah, എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. This is a very proud moment of felicitating two great people. Let me start with Arya Raj. Aryan എനിക്ക് വലിയ പരിചയമില്ല പേഴ്സണലായിട്ട്. മോളെ മോക്ക് ഈ +2 1200 കിട്ടിയതിന്റെ ഫെലിസിറ്റേഷൻ ആയിട്ടല്ല ഞാനിത് കാണുന്നത്. When I look at you, shortly, in fact through the video, whatever you achieved is so impressive. So this is a felicitation for your journey all through up to now. And I think +2 കിട്ടിയ ഈ പെർഫോമൻസ് is very good, but മറ്റു വെച്ച് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇത് അത്ര വലിയ കാര്യമൊന്നുമില്ല. I would have easily expected you to do very well. Okay? So you are amazing. Okay, the way your determination, your focus, and your willingness to, your dareness to dream, and you want to work in astrobiology. That's a very wide field, and I'm sure that you're going to get into some of the areas like Kumari said, that's a interdisciplinary subject, so you can go into one of the fields and then get into the astrobiology. I'm sure you'll do very well. And when I look at you, somewhere I think of Stephen Hawking. I mean, that's the determination. Okay, somebody who wants to do very well in science, with all your limitations, you are really inspiring to all the students around, and even the students with all the capabilities. They are not doing as well as you do. I mean, really, I must congratulate you on your journey and on your performance in the 12th standard. And I wish you all the best, Mole, in your future. And like everyone else said here, we are all with you in whatever way we can, and we'll be with you all the time. And I'm sure that you'll go places, and there are a lot of nice things to do in astrobiology. And I'm sure that's in fact, in science, all the fields are very nice. That's the way I think. And there are a lot of things to do in any area you choose. And you're so focused. And and you're so young and you're so focused. We're amazing. And when we think of, when we do the 12th standard, we don't know anything. Okay? But, you know where to go. And what is it? I mean, with all your limitations, you're doing so well. And I must really appreciate your parents also, the way they take care of you. I mean, it's really nice. No, all the best, Arya Mole. I mean, whenever I come to Calicut, I will make it a point to come and visit you. By that time, I hope you get into one of the best institutes. Okay, and I understand from the video that you want to get into ICER. I hope there must be some special reservation or something. I'm sure there is. I've been talking to one of my friend who was a professor in Palakkad IIT. He's here. Yeah, okay. Professor Sebastian. I don't know whether you know him. Yeah. In fact, he's no more there. He's now shifted to. We were together. We were classmates. Okay, so we are from the ISC. So I was just talking to Sebastian today about Arya and asking whether ICER has, because he might know. I know Jemmis well. You know Jemmis, right? Professor Jemmis was the director of ICER. So I was asking whether there's any provision for people like Arya. Is there a reservation? Let's hope something open up and Arya get into one of the good institutes. I wish you all the best, Arya. Congratulations again. Now let me move to my good friend Shajil sir. It's a double whammy. Okay, you made us all proud, Shajil. I think our association has been for the last 7-8 months now. I mean, from the day one, I could see the spark in you. The zeal and the commitment and the sincerity you show, it's amazing. Okay, two fields will build a nation, as I can see. One is education and one is health. These are the two areas we should put a lot of money, not in building. Roads are all important, but this is the thing, education and health. Then the nation will take off on its own. Otherwise, we will be doing the outsourced work. Okay, so education and health. And you are a big part of education, Shajil. The kind of, as somebody said, no, though we are here to felicitate you, you are a great facilitator. You facilitate things, okay, and you need such leaders who can facilitate, okay. Then it will roll on, okay. Somebody who has to start, and you are very calm, and you're very your seed is there, your passion is there, and you try to go out. This is a part of the social reformation. I think Bhagavatananda Swami, I don't know much about it, but I understand that this is what it is, the social reformation. Where does it start from? It starts with the students, because they are the backbone, and we have to start from there, and we have to reform them. So you have a knack of going to the right kind of the deserving students and pull out them. And I can see a few instances where we could pull out students and make them to do something, and they're all do well. And the way they praise you, it's amazing. And I'm very honored to be with you, Shajil, to have known you so long. And I'm sure that, as a matter of fact, I think the jury of the Gurusreshta award must be pretty pleased that one they chose got the state award in the same year. I think this is the first time the same person is getting Gurusreshta and the state award. In fact, I have been checking who got, the other fellow who got was along with you is some, I don't remember, but then he didn't get the, not that I'm demeaning them or anything. I mean, it's a nice thing. Okay, it's a vindication that they have done the right thing. Okay, so I'm sure many more awards are waiting for you at the national level. And forget about awards. You carry on what you do as you do now, and you will be a great facilitator for the society, for the students here. And we are all waiting. And whatever help you need, we are all there. Okay. And we may not be that great facilitator, at least we can be the workers, okay, at your call, okay. Nice to know you. All the best, Shajil, and congratulations again. And I hope many more nice things will come your way. Let me stop there. Thank you very much to all.
Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. Dr. Jyoti talked about Calicut. He's a person from Calicut, and he's the rank holder, first ranker of BSc.
Yeah, we are felicitating.
And in MSc too, and he did his graduate PhD in Indian Institute of Science, and very, very simple, humble man, and we are together for very, very long time.
Yeah, Putti is my very good friend. We have known each other for the last 40 years. So.
And moreover, he is now spending every day 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning to take classes for UN Space Club related students. So he's a great teacher as well. So I'll come to, we don't have enough time for a lot of felicitation, but yet, it will be very unfair if we leave out at least one or two people who are expressed. We have a student, yes, Abhinand talk, and also we have our dear Papan P. Padmanabhan of ISRO. Please do few words, please, Papan.
Thank you, Kutti. This Arya Raj, Shajil sir, and all the dignitaries in the meeting who are assembled from different fields, from space technology, judiciary, education, industry, and many other fields. Arya Raj, I have not seen you. I have seen a video, and I heard about you through PJ Bhatt. He had only great words about you. Sri PJ Bhatt, having managed an organization of more than 3,000 scientists and engineers, ISRO Satellite Center, as its associate director, he to praise a person of your age is not a small thing. I could imagine what Arya Raj would be from his own words. And at this age, at your age, I was not sure what I should become. I jumped into space, maybe by chance, though there was a desire, but you are focused. And not only focused on a specific field where many people will not jump into easily. They will astrobiology. If you ask any engineer, they will say, I want to go to IT because I want to go to US and get some money, build some houses, etc. But you are entirely different. And you are not only having a dream, you are already propelling yourself towards achieving that, scoring the highest mark in your field. That shows where you are. You may be the age of my granddaughter, but I assess you very great. Arya, I wish you all the success, and I am sure the scientists and all the other people will be behind you in your effort to achieve something in this very rare field. Please be successful. I have to only repeat the words the IBM chairman Walker told his assemblage in Holland. He was asked to speak. He stood up and spoke only 3 words: work, work, and work. You will achieve it. And Shajil sir, I have met him only one day. In one of the seminars in Calicut. He was Calicut University. Yeah, and he was specifically impressed me as all the qualifications you have described to him, very focused, very clear, crisp, and he knows what he has to do. I don't know about him, about his teaching, but I knew the way he conducted the seminar was well enough to assess him. And today, I have been proved right by him getting this award, not only this previous awards also. Sir, I wish you all the best. And I am very jealous of the students who have listened to you and those who are coming to listen to your classes. They are blessed. Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you, dear Padmanabhan. We all call him Papan. Everybody calls him Papan. Okay, we are time is running out, but
Sir, your mic is muted. Kuti sir, your mic is muted.
Yes, Abhinand, please say a few words.
Respected Ramachandran, Kuti sir, all other respected dignitaries. I know Arya Raj from, we are very good friends from 7th standard onwards. We have been a part of Vakbadananda Edgy project since the 8th standard. And I know her from various quiz programs. Whenever we attend quiz programs, I often see Arya Raj, Bharat, Charudat, all these guys. Because they are the most top competitors and they are the most difficult persons to beat. In any quiz program, they will be there. Any program, so I know them and I've seen them very often in these quiz programs. I know she's very active in this program. One thing is, I am very impressed with her is that there is a WhatsApp group called Wings of Fire, and there are many 8 to 10 standard students are there. When they had come up with the doubts about these extraterrestrial intelligence and these things, so-called SETI things and all, whenever they come up with these topics, Arya Raj will come to the group and discuss all these things, and she will clear the doubt for them. It's a very, very fascinating thing, the way she tells these things in a very scientific manner, because most of the time we heard about these aliens and extraterrestrials in a way that it's a fiction, scientific fiction and all these movies and all. But when she comes to the picture, she said that this is not the thing. This is there is a probability when you are using Drake equation, you can find aliens maybe or may not be and all these things. It's very fascinating. And I'm very impressed the way she is doing these things. And I would like to congratulate her for achieving 1200 out of 1200. This great, it's a very great thing because getting 1200 out of 1200, even this Corona time is very difficult because if you want to concentrate and you want to beat all the problems with this, everybody know that it's a very tension period because we already congested to our roots. So it's a very great thing. I congratulate her. And when I talk about Shajil sir, it's a very great pleasure to talk about Shajil sir because I left biology from the 10th standard because I hate it. And when after the 10th standard, I get 2 biology teachers. One is Surendra Puniseri sir and Shajil sir. These 2 are very exotic teachers. They are doing in biology and they know almost everything. When it comes to Surendra sir, he's a biology teacher and he knows everything about the sky. And Shajil sir is a biology teacher. He knows everything in the globe. So these 2 teachers, when it comes, now I love biology. Sometimes I call Shajil sir, Shajil sir told me, you observe the surroundings, you can find biology everywhere. So I started observing these things and I will call Shajil sir and ask these biology doubts. And once we went to Farouk College for a conference in biology, then I understood that Shajil sir is a very special kind of a teacher because there is very little teachers, they can teach their own textbook. It's often happen when it comes to university. But in case of Shajil sir, he's doing in the high school itself. He is teaching the textbook he written. So that's a very special kind of a teacher. I congratulate sir. It's an honor for me to felicitate for both of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Abhinand. So nice. And we have many more persons waiting, but unfortunately, the time won't wait for us. So let us proceed ahead. And I request Arya Raj to respond. Okay. So we will first proceed with honoring Arya Raj. I request Ramesh and Palari sir to do that important function. Arya Raj. So much. May I request Arya Raj to say a few words in response to whatever she has heard on this.
First of all, I would thank to all of you for your wonderful speech. Actually, my academic ULSC Balanda Education Foundation ഭാഗമാവുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മള് അന്നത്തെ കാലത്ത് ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ അഭിലാഷ് സാറും സോമൻ സാറും അതേപോലെ ദാമോദരൻ സാറും ഒക്കെ മുൻകൈ ഒരു എനിക്ക് അപ്പോഴാണ് അവാർഡ് കിട്ടിയത്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ ഒരു തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഓരോ അപ്രിഷിയേഷനുമാണ് എനിക്ക് ശാരീരികമായിട്ടും മാനസികമായിട്ടൊക്കെ മുന്നോട്ടേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള ഒരു കരുത്ത്. പിന്നെ ക്ലബിൽ വന്നപ്പോ കുട്ടി സാറും സരി സാറും എല്ലാവരും പരിചയപ്പെടാൻ പറ്റി. അത് എന്റെ ജീവിതത്തിലെ മറക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഒരു അനുഭവമാണ്. ഫേസായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് താല്പര്യം പണ്ട് മുതലേ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നെങ്കിലും അത് കുറച്ചും കൂടി ഡീപ്പായത് കുട്ടി സാറിൻ്റെതും സരി സാറിൻ്റെതും ഒക്കെ നേരത്തെ സ്പേസിലെ വെബിനാറുകളാണ്. വെബിനാർ പിന്നെ ക്യാമ്പുകളും എനിക്ക് വളരെയധികം ആണ്. പിന്നെ PJ ബസ്സാറിന്റെ ബാക്കി ഗ്രൂപ്പിലെ അംഗമാണ്. അപ്പൊ സാറിനെ പരിചയപ്പെട്ടത് എന്റെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ മറക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഒരു അനുഭവം ആണ്. അത് കാലിക്കറ്റ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി വെച്ചായിരുന്നു. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി നന്ദി. താങ്ക് യു ഓൾ.
Thank you very much, Arya. You did an excellent, reply and the nice points you made it. Now, I request our President Ramesh Your Honor. And our Shajil sir.
Sir,
Come. I request Shajil Marsh to say a few words.
Honorable dignitaries, the chairman of ULCCS, Dr. Y.V.N. Krishnamurthy sir, P.J. Bhatt sir, Padmanabhan sir, Honorable District Head Adil sir, my friend and Honorable Roshan Bijli sir, Dr. S. Rangarajan sir, and Subramanian Sundarajan sir, and Vinod sir, Dr. Vinod Prasad from Hong Kong Technical University, and lot of Indian scientists and students and teachers and common people. We are sitting together for the past 1.5 years. Means that the corona made us close together. That is the thing happened because of this pandemic. Otherwise, we could have been seen, we could not see, and we could not be aware of these great people of India. So I feel proud that, and I thank COVID. Unfortunately, I thank COVID for happening these things, and that's why we close together. So I am happy to be part of this UL Space Club under the umbrella of your Untitled Labor Contract Society. I am joined there for the past 4 to 5 years. And from there, I started my journey with that. Before that, I have participated in the curriculum work of Government of Kerala and District Panchayat and other social organizations. But I could boost these activities with my dream because I have a great passion to nurture our students. Because I feel that for the development of our students, there should be the environment. The personality gives the G square, G is the genetics and E is the environment. If we create such an environment for the students, they can make miracles. They go beyond the textbook and they will jump beyond, even beyond the universities and even beyond the our imagination. That's the power of this, the brain with this young youth of India. That's I believe. And today, in this day, the World Brotherhood Day, on this day, Swami Vivekananda made his wonderful speech of Chicago in the Parliament of World Religions. Today, I remember that things also, and we all engaged in these social reformation activities. And now we are sitting under the umbrella of ULCCS. It has a great history that becomes the part of Northern Kerala, even in India, under the guidance of Bhagavad and the Guru. They started these things, and we feel proud we sit along with this giant philanthropic institution, and that also involved in this infrastructural building of India, not in Kerala, in all over India, even in the globe. So we are so proud with that, and we are creating a good environment on these things. And I feel proud with that. With my telephone, I have around 200 or 250 Indian scientists, and I got this chance only because of our Honorable Kutti sir. He gave me a gate or a window to me. I railed through and rolled all my activities there, and I was able to contact all these around 250 scientists of India. Now all these scientists are available for our students, not in Kozhikode, in all over Kerala. And our Honorable Surendran Punnasiri sir is sitting here. He made a wonder in writing a wonderful drama
Mangalyaan show. He was there, but we could do it only because of the help of the UL Space Club and Universal Labour Contract Society. We presented it at University of Calicut. There we met Bud sir and Padmanabhan sir there, and we played it in Town Hall Kozhikode and even in Kottayam, and that was the history. And we couldn't know it was that, and really now we realize that it was the first space drama in this world. So we feel proud to be that. And Surendra sir, we owe to you in writing these things, and I am so lucky to organize that with our students. So it's so happy to be here, and along with the great girl of our country, that is Arya Raj. She would make history in this world, because the whole world is conspiring to make a way for her. Her ambition to be part of, to join in a course in Indian premier institutes, but the lot of experts, I think, Prasad sir, IAS, is also watching with us, and he is also saying, he says that his learning should be not within India. She has to go out. A lot of foreign universities are there, and they are ready to give that. But she wants to study in Kerala, and the situation he prefer ISER Trivandrum. And now all India and all these 250 scientists and academicians and common people under the umbrella of these ULCCS, we are conspiring. That conspiracy is a divine one. We are doing that conspiracy to guide the gem of this district to achieve her dream, to join in these kind of higher education institutions, and to achieve her ultimate goal of an astrobiologist. Astrobiology is a very rare thing and a rare time in fact. Now we are in search of that, and we are in search of life in elsewhere that's outside this space. Okay, and then I feel my heart is filled with gratitude. On this occasion, I feel the words of YVN Krishnamurthy sir and Baiju sir and Padmanabhan sir, Vinod sir, and all these dignitaries as a blessing for my future. And I would say that I will be ever with this UL Space Club and with this environment. I'm ready to expand all these things, and I like to devote my life also for these activities for our students. That's for the future of our nation. I believe so. Thank you all. Thank you.
A great teacher honored by us is going to conspire to see that a student, a deserving student, is able to get into an institution of higher learning of her choice. So a teacher will be able to change strategy as the student deserve. So this is one. Second, I wanted to see that he said he got 250 contacts of scientists. Now what is happening is that most of them who are known to me and some of the very good friends, they don't talk to me these days. These days, they immediately contact Shajil Marsh. So I come to know from him that so-and-so contacted. So you can just imagine the kind of magic he has got in relating to people and also working with people. That is the kind of emotional integration he has developed and practiced in his life. So this is an important thing, and his activity doesn't, as many people have said it, doesn't get restricted in the school campus. He is in the education of Kozhikode. Kozhikode is creating a kind of history these days. The district collector of Kozhikode has created an education, selected the best schools, talented and gifted students, and this Shajil Marsh is leading that activity along with one other master, and it is creating a kind of a history in Kerala, and the Kozhikode district is showing the pathway along with the teachers like him. So it's so nice. We are very, very grateful to have this student and Shajil Marsh with us. Thank you very much. Now our main program starts. We have 3 students giving we have 3 students going to present the webinars today. The first one is the turn of Arya Raj. Arya Raj will be having the first talk. followed by Navaneet and Abhiram. Arya will be taking about 30 minutes. Before that, we have with us Dr. Muhammad Shaheen, the Calicut University, Assistant Professor, Calicut University, and also Dr. Sujit, Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry, NIT here. I request them to say one and to greet this teacher and the student if they are available. Mohammed Shaheen.
Sir, yeah, thank you very much, Kuti sir and Shajil sir. Respected dignitaries like Ramesh Chetan, Kuti sir, Bhatt sir, Padmanabhan sir, Krishnamurthy sir, Baiju sir, Vinod sir, Roshan Bijli, and Dr. Jyoti Basu sir. I'm very happy that I was, we are very proud to have these two important dignitaries who are awarded with these one like Arya Raj. I simply say one word to her. Those who contributed extraordinary in science and technology or business are those who had a lot of difficulties in, and they achieved these goals by overcoming those difficulties. So all the best, Arya, and I know you from 2016, and you came to Calicut University, stayed there, and we are very proud that on listening to your astrobiology interest in university when I spoke with you, and I on that day itself I was so impressed to listen to your ambition and understanding about your subject. And second thing, Shajil sir, I have been collaborating with him since 2016, and every time I see him, he has gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of achievements. And about him, I can tell him that he's an ambitious teacher. Great ambitious teacher, ambitious in towards his students. That is the great thing I see from him. And last but not least, I should say that all successful people, I thank his wife for giving all freedom to live from house activities. And with these words, I thank the organizers for giving an opportunity to felicitate one of my best student, best friend, and one of the brilliant students. And I thank Kutisa once again because we learned and we nurtured from you in our path towards. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Shaheen. Dr. Shaheen is a fellow traveler with us for a long time, and his contributions are very, very significant for the benefit of our students. Now we'll move on to the next program. Felicitation function is over, and we are moving to the next program of student presentation. First presentation by Arya. I request Varun to take over conducting the program. Our students have been really organizing the program. Today only we actually denied them the opportunity and we did it. So Varun, please come. We are going to have a Space Week program in October during 4th to 9th October. Space Week is a 4th to 10th October program. So this program, the students are going to conduct a lot of competitions and various projects and things like that. That will be announced soon. And on 9th, we have a webinar. The further program details of that, Varun will be giving in the course of this talk. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, Kutisa and Sadisa, and all other organizers for giving me a chance to present on the topic astrobiology. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. The screen. Not the screen, Arya. Let it come.
Okay.
Yeah. We can see you, not the screen.
Yes, sir, it's visible. And you go to Arya Raj presentation and then pin it.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay, fine.
Okay, Lara.
Yes.
Now the presentation.
Yes, NPP.
Now it's coming. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Is the screen is all of you can see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's perfect.
Actually, astrobiology is a very large topic, but I choose only one. I like to answer in the entire presentation that are we alone in the universe? Let us start with what is astrobiology. Actually, astrobiology is a branch of science and astronomy. It deals with the study of origin, evolution, and distribution of life in the entire universe. Some people have mistake astrobiology as astrology, but it is not astrology, it is astrobiology. We are all seeing science fiction movies. In those movies, we are seeing alien will come and destroy our earth, etc., etc. But in reality, when should we expect an alien? There are 4 things necessary for that. There should be life somewhere. And that life should be an intelligent one to perform space travel and reach here. It is also advanced enough and long living to pursue the space travel. When did we capable of that? Look at us. The Earth, we all know that the Earth is formed at 4 billion years ago, and in Earth, the life originated on 3 billion years ago. There is 1 billion years time in between formation of Earth and the origination of life. Intelligent species on Earth, humans are evolved around 3 lakh years ago, and our first communication device, wireless communication device, was developed around 150 years ago, and we start space travel almost 70 years ago. And we haven't gone beyond moon yet. It is our present situation. There is an equation called dark equation. It is a purely hypothetical equation. N is equal to R star into Fp into Ne into Fe into Fi into F3 into L. It is a purely hypothetical equation, but it gives the importance of time in these areas. Well, I will explain the term. N is the number of technologically advanced civilization in the Milky Way galaxy. Is equal to R star is the rate of formation of stars in the galaxy. Fp is the fraction of those stars with the planetary system. And Ne is the number of planets per solar system having such an environment suitable for life. That is number of planets in the habitable zone. Fp is the fraction of those suitable stars on which life actually appears. Fi is the fraction of life-bearing planets on which intelligence life emerges. The F3 is the fraction of those civilizations that develop a technology that release a detectable sign of their existence into the space. And that is the length of time for such civilizations release the detectable signal into space. It is a few. The problem is that we don't know the actual values of these fashions. Then we look, where are we? We are in the Milky Way galaxy. It is about 13.2 billion years old, containing 200 to 400 billion stars with at least 100 billion planets, 500 million planets, of which may support life. Our diameter of the galaxy is 1,25,000 light years. We are in the Orion Cygnus arm, which is at 26,000 light years away from the black hole Sagittarius A at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. In the left side, you can see an image taken by Hubble Space Telescope. In this, we can see several galaxies. These are all the galaxies, and this is the portion of the sky visible through a 1 millimeter square hole placed at 1 meter from our eye. That much small portion contains these much galaxies. So, how many such galaxies were all around the observable universe? We can estimate a probability. We assume that 10 raised to 22 stars in the observable universe, based on some scientific studies. 5% of those stars are sunlight stars. That means 500 billion sunlight stars are there in the observable universe. Out of this, actually 50% of stars contain Earth-like planets, but we consider the least value, that is 20% of these sunlight stars contain Earth-like planets. Then we will get 100 billion Earth-like planets in the universe. I'm talking about the observable universe, not in the entire universe. On which only take 1% of those Earth-like planets develop life. Then we get 1 billion developed life, developed civilization. Out of these, 0.1% may be intelligent civilization. It is so we will get the number 1 billion intelligent civilizations are there in the observable universe, in which 10,000 may be in our galaxy. Our Milky Way galaxy is very big. We can see the classification of civilizations. There are mainly 3 types of civilization. Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 civilization. There are many more others, but we consider only 3. This classification is based on the energy utilization. Type 1 civilization, also called the planetary civilization, will use the entire energy given by a planet. That is, they use at the rate of 10 raised to 16 watt energy. Then we move to Type 2 civilization. Type 2 civilization is called scalar civilization. That means they use all the energy given by the star and the entire planet in the scalar system. That is, they use up to 10 raised to 16 watt energy. They may be developed life sphere, a imaginary sphere to detect, absorb all energy given by the stars. Type 3 civilization is the galactic civilization. They use all the energy given by the stars in the galaxy. Stars and planets and all other instruments all of the objects in the galaxy. They use up to 10 raised to 36 watt energy. We, at the current stage, are present in developed up to 70% of planetary civilization. The scale is given by Nikolai Kardashev, so the scale is known as Kardashev scale. Further modification of Kardashev scale is given by Carl Sagan. And I will discuss it on later topic. What about the age now? We all know that Big Bang has occurred. The universe started with an explosion called the Big Bang. It occurred 13.8 billion years ago. Consider a planet, I call it as planet Earth. So it's developed is but 8 billion years ago. I call it as planet S just because of simplicity of for talking. Then the 4.5 billion years ago, our Earth is formed, and we reached we developed up to space travel. Then the planet is suppose the planet is may develop life and develop like Earth. Then there may be 3.5 billion years ahead. What we are today. The length of in the small yellow dot represent the length of time when the dinosaurs previous extinction and represent there how much they will develop. But where are they? We are keeping exploring the several exoplanets, but we didn't find any of the detectable sign of the aliens. But where are they? Although probably are very high, but we didn't find any of the evidence. The question was raised by Enrico Fermi. So it is called Fermi's paradox. There are several hypotheses that solve Fermi paradox, but they are hypotheses. The first hypothesis, the most important hypothesis, is the great filter hypothesis. That means, in a long way of evolution, there are several leaps that we achieved, but others can't. Maybe origin of life on Earth is maybe a gate filter, or prokaryotic stage to eukaryotic stage, maybe a gate filter. I would like to ask a question here. Assume that we see a forceless civilization that developed the civilization, but forceless civilization on other planets. Then what is her reaction? Is it a good news or a bad news? I'm waiting for your response. Please, somebody say. Hello?
Yes, Arya.
Anybody hear you?
Yes, yes.
Then what will be your reaction if we are trying assume that to still we are moving to that filter, but there is no findings of these celestial forces, and we can keep calm. Another major hypothesis is the rare earth hypothesis. It is says that our Earth is very rare planet. We are in a rare planet. We are in the right location in the sky, in the galaxy. We are located on the intermediate place of Milky Way galaxy. That is all your Sagittarius arm. The distance between the stars located in the middle of the galaxy is less than that of the intermediate system. Those stars located in the middle of the galaxy have high energy. And the planets rotating around us. Those stars have a low metallicity. The size of the planet in the habitable zone. The elements of low mass like hydrogen and helium, etc., are low in the intermediate-sized planets like Earth. We are all carbon-based civilizations. In high-sized planets, in the habitable zone, the low mass elements could not eliminate out due to high gravity. Because of the mass is high, gravity is equal to gravitational force Fg is equal to Gm by r square. Hence, the atmosphere will be highly thick. In low mass planet, in the habitable zone, all elements are escapable due to low gravitational force. So, there may not be atmosphere. Example, our moon. Moon has no atmosphere, but placed in the habitable zone. Then the magnetic field is the other factor. Magnetic field is formed due to the rotation of the planet. The inner core containing Fe ferrous ion, that is, iron, must be in molten state to produce an electric field. That electric field produces such a magnetic field around the planet. This magnetic field prevents the scalar wind from the star. And scalar wind means also it is the emission of charged particle from the sun to the atmosphere of the other planets. Then what magnetic field do is they attract these charged particles towards the pole. In the polar region, the sky will be colored. Due to the excited electrons will be in excited state and they will come back to normal state. They emit the light in the form of waves like photons or this for photography in the polar regions. The other factor is the large moon. Earth has a large size moon compared to other planets with respect to their size. The rotation of moon maintains study as with respect to Earth. This is known as axis stabilization. If the inclination will be very large, the seasonal collapse may be happened, and the habitable situation cannot be maintained. This happens of moon or presence of lower exoplanet discovered. This discovering exoplanet, today we will discuss two important methods for discovering exoplanets. That is, first one, radial velocity method, and the other one is transit photograph method. Move to the first one, radial velocity method. The radial velocity method for detecting exoplanets relies on the fact that a star does not remain completely stationary when the stars move ever so slightly. The small circle or ellipse responding to the gravitational tug of its smaller companion means that the planet and the star rotate a point which is known as center of gravity, which is located near or inner part of the star, because the star have higher mass. So the star is also revolving around a point. So we can say that as the star moves away from us, the light waves leaving the star are getting stretched and move towards the left end of the spectrum. As the star moves towards us, the light waves leaving the star are compressed and move towards the blue end of the spectrum. On analyzing the spectrum, we can decide whether a planet is revolving around the star or not. The transist photographic method. The transist occurs when a planet passes between a star and the observer. As it transits, the light will go through the atmosphere and that light can be analyzed to determine what different atmospheric elements influence in its particular dispersion. Actually, it is a photometric method that aims indirectly detect the presence of one or more exoplanets around a star. Then we move to SETI program. SETI program is a program organized by NASA. Its full name is SETI for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. That means in this we kept in a very large observatory for detecting the radio waves coming from outer space. Our first wireless communication device was radio waves. We are still using, and we are assuming that others also using the radio wave for sending signals. So we are looking for such radio wave. But one more thing is the black hole, pulsar, and neutron stars are also emitting radio waves. So a proper analysis should be done. This is the latest finding about it is called BLC1. Its full name is Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1. It is a radio wave of frequency 982.002 megahertz. It is detected and observed on April and May 2019 and first reported on 18 December 2020. It coincides with the direction of Proxima Centauri. The signal was detected during the 30 hours of observation at the Parker University in Australia. Then we further moved to the Proxima Centauri B. It is a exoplanetary in the coincide with the direction. We said that BNC1 is coincide with the direction of Proxima Centauri. It is a planet and the habitable zone of that large dwarf star Proxima Centauri. Its orbitable speed is 11.2 light years, but it has a surface temperature of 234 Kelvin, that is minus 39 degrees Celsius. Its surface temperature is very low and it may be tidally locked to the Earth's star. Tidally locked means the orbital speed and the rotation and revolution take place in same amount of time. That means it's one side always opposite to the Proxima Centauri star, and the other side will be in dark, like the moon. Then the active SETI program is also the Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11. Voyager 1, Voyager 2, New Horizons are those missions to study the outer solar system. They carry a disk-like structure called on the left side. You can see a disk that is Voyager's golden record. In this golden record, we have recorded the voice of the high messages in Hindi, English, and several languages, and our position with respect to the pulsar stars and etc. We send our photo, human being photo, and these are preserved up to 1 lakh years. We are actually doing activity that we are messaging those in the outer aliens. And we are assuming that the aliens will come and get the message. Then that's all. Keep exploring with the touch to the new horizon. Thank you.
Thank you, Arya. It's a very great presentation. Sometimes we can't explain things with words. It's something like that. The presentation is so profound that anything I comment on it will be an ad hoc. So I would like to invite Rangarajan sir to comment on her presentation.
My good God. First of all, very, very happy to be present in this e-meeting. And the presentation of Arya Raj from beginning to end was mesmerizing. It was so profound, as you said. It was very informative, it was authoritative, delivered with such a kind of conviction. It's amazing, because I have seen children of that age group and how they struggle to even comprehend a simple concept. Here, the entirety of physics, whether it is not one branch or another, whether you're talking about magnetic effects or whether you go to Drake's equation, each one is so difficult. But the way she handled each of that, she never made any mistake in terms of pronunciation. She was trying to go over the slides slowly enough for the audience to follow. And we were mesmerized. We were just following each and every word of hers. And in fact, I want to go back to her slides and learn more. That is the kind of interest which a speaker should generate. And at her age and with her achievements, I'm sure she has got an extremely good future. And we are all here to help her in different ways as needed. And UL Space Club is actually proud of having members like you. And it is they who would, make sure in the future we are going to achieve even greater things. All the very best. We want several of Aryas to come out of this one Arya. Okay. All the very, very best and congratulations. And of course, I also want to congratulate Shajil, my very good friend. I think he's another great person, because it is such teachers who are able to create so many people of this kind. Just good old days, they used to say, ask of who is your friend, I'll tell you who you are. I think I should ask, who is your teacher? Then you know how much the students have understood. And he is absolutely one of the best teachers. And we are all here very happy in our days where we have finished our regular career. But this will keep us very, very actively involved. And thanks. And you are all the guiding lights for all of us. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rangarajan sir, for your very inspiring words. I would like to invite Krishnamurthy sir for his comments.
See, I cannot comment. I can only tell I learned a lot. In this short duration, Arya Raj has taken to a wide spectrum. So I'll make only one statement, because I written that statement because I had to be very cautious while giving any appreciation to you. I feel the future of humans in exploring extraterrestrial life is safe and profound, and it's going to happen with people like Arya Raj. God bless you with good health, and you will take wonders.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your great words. Now I like to invite Bhatt sir, because I see in Bhatt sir is noting many things, and he is.
Congratulations, Arya. We are very proud of you. The whole presentation, the excellent slides, and the way you conveyed all aspects. I thought it would be an introductory talk on astrobiology, but it went much beyond that. In fact, you covered so many aspects. How much of study, how much of depth you would have gone in. So one thing is certain. I second the opinion of Dr. Rangarajan and Dr. Krishnamurthy, that you are definitely most suited for pursuing the studies and this thing in the domain in which you are thinking of. It's excellent. I mean, I thought at the beginning you started with Drake's equation, Kardashev scale. You talked of two aspects. You also talked of Fermi paradox, and then you talked of aspects of those characteristics of the planets in the habitable zone where life could be, possibility of life. Then you went into further aspects of exoplanets. In exoplanets, the way you explained radial velocity method and the transit method, I loved it. I'm telling you, then SETI. I was knowing about SETI, but I was not knowing about these BLC events. I tell you, at one stage I started noting down, Arya. I have noted down a lot of things which you have mentioned. I learned a lot. God bless you, Arya. Really is. It is a pleasure it is an honor for all of us to have heard your presentation. Let everything good happen to you, Arya. We are with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Before going to next talk, I invite Padmanabhan sir also for his comments. Papan sir.
Muted on.
Papan sir.
Arya, congratulations. This is one of the best presentations I have heard on this subject, and I never thought a person of your academic background will come up with such a explanatory object in a very well, clearly ordered and with subject contained. As Batsab and Rangarajan sir, Vavi and Krishnamurthy sir, it contains almost everything a student should know and a researcher should know. Carry on. You are done. You are in the right path. Thank you. Very well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your great words. Now we are going to the next presentation, which is by
Abhinandan, Gangadharan KP has raised his hand.
Yeah.
You want to respond to him?
Gangadharan, sir. I think it's by accident.
He had raised his hand actually.
I hope that it's by accident. If you have any queries or things, you just put it in the chat box. We will take it. So we are moving to the next talk. It's by Navneet Shajil. I invite Navneet Shajil for his talk.
So am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
All right, then I'll try to present my screen. Has it come? Is my screen visible?
No.
The presentation?
Can you present it once more?
It's visible now,
No, it has come.
No.
Where
Okay,
is
now
the screen?
it's fine.
Okay.
Put it in the presentation mode. That will be more clearer. Yeah.
I'm trying, but something.
It's okay. You can continue. Still, the letters are clear.
All right, sir. Is it in the presentation mode right now?
Yeah, fine. Good.
So first of all, I'm actually speechless right now. We actually had a wonderful presentation by Arya Chechi. She is one of the most interesting and one of the most amazing figure I ever met in my life. I met her in 2018, and I've known her for past 3 years, and I was completely lost my mind when I realized the fact that someone who actually herself tried her maximum and overcome her disabilities and reached actually in a position that actually even myself I couldn't reach. And I'm actually happy to know that today we have honored her, and she has attained a lot of achievements in her life despite all her disabilities. So I actually congratulate her for her achievement and also for that wonderful presentation that she gave here today. So hi, my name is Shajil, and I'm an 11th grader and also ULSC Space Club member. So I would like to talk to you about a few things, a couple of elementary things, and in a small disclaimer that I have to make is that in the poster, it was given introduction to Newtonian mechanics, but actually my topic was something related to rocket, and a bit of Newtonian mechanics is actually there in my slides, in my presentation. So let me get started. So a rocket is something that has actually evolved over time from a dream that actually was within human beings into something that actually became a reality later on. So when we think of rocket, a lot of things actually pop up in our mind. Well, if we are something like 3-4-year-old child, we might imagine a rocket, as you can see in the first image, with a white body and a red nose cone and 3 fins and a small fire coming out of the nozzle behind it. And over time, we actually evolve into such a state that we get a much better understanding of what rocket is. And with our growing curiosity, we try to know much and more about this specific thing. And finally, an image that you can see in the second picture in the screen appears in our mind. And it's actually the Warhorse of India, PSLV, taking off from its launch pad. So let me start from a small story. So rocket has a long history, but for the time being, we have time constriction, and I'll be trying my best to complete it in the allotted time. So this particular figure is of an interesting man. Well, he's interesting because he's the first man known to us who actually wished to go to the moon. So he was a Chinese emperor, and his name was Wan Hu. So he had a big country, a happy family, a lot of people loving him, a big army, a lot of riches, and he lived in the prospering kingdom of China. So Chinese were like the first people who actually did, put use of gunpowder into effective use, especially in fireworks during festivals. So when one day he was actually thinking of reaching the moon, and an idea came into his mind. He actually ordered his men to take his throne in front of the palace and make a raised platform and place the throne over it, and actually attach a bunch of rockets, big rockets, which were fueled from this gunpowder. And once this arrangement was set up, he actually sat on the throne and asked his men to fire it, to actually ignite the rockets. And we all know what might have happened after that, of course, but instead of saying that he died in vain, it's better to put it like this way, that the man who wished to reach the moon reached the white heavens instead of reaching the moon. So seeing this whole event, one of his men actually quoted that the sky is an impalpable great black canvas with dotted little white dots staring at us. So actually, all of the people of his country believed that it was impossible to reach the moon. So note the word impossible. But later, as centuries progressed and time progressed, and finally we reached the state when human beings had much better understanding of the universe itself, and we could do a lot of stuff that could actually be used to enhance our own life. So one such event is actually the advancement that we had in the field of rocketry. So this particular man is like the most important figure in the history of rocketry, Robert Goddard. He is like known as the father of modern rocket propulsion. So this is a quote by him. It says like, "It is difficult to say what is impossible, for the dream of yesterday is the hope of today and reality of tomorrow." So he was a man who actually hoped that he could make a liquid propelled rocket that could ultimately carry him to the moon. Now, the interesting thing to note is that when he actually made this idea public, well, everybody, including media, like the New York Times, mocked him by saying that this man says he can go to the moon in a rocket. And that was in 1920s. And later, in the year of 1969, almost 40-50 years after this particular incident, actually a rocket rose from the surface of Earth towards the moon, carrying 3 men who actually made history. So actually, we can say that this particular statement came true, because Van Hu dreamed of going to the moon, and Goddard hoped of going to the moon, and finally, in the year 1969, we actually achieved that dream. We made it true. So that's how the things have been. And still we are developing a lot of things, and we are actually moving up a lot of modification to rockets. And currently we have a lot of space research organizations which are either government funded or private, with a lot of variants of rockets. So coming to the next slide, here we have something related to the structure of rocket. On the left-hand side, you can see two of the best rockets ever in the world, two by the great, our own ISRO. The first one is a PSLV, and the second one is a GSLV. So all of us are familiar with these two rockets. And on the right side, you can see that a rocket is given, but in a way that it actually portrays its structure. I want you to focus on the things given on the right side. Actually, we can say that there are three systems, as you can see here. That's the payload system, guidance system, and propulsion system. Well, the payload system comprises of the things like the cargo, or if you're doing a manned mission, we'll be having that probe over there. Or if you're actually sending satellites, we'll be having that as the payload. So payload can vary with missions. And then below that, we have a guidance system, whose main function is to actually make sure that the rocket actually reaches the required position without any failure, to actually guide it throughout the mission. And coming to the last part where we're going to talk, where I'm going to speak on, is actually the propulsion system. Now, the propulsion system is about, it's almost 3/4 of the rocket, takes up 3/4 of the rocket, and it actually makes the rocket to move upwards and reach the final destination, that is the required orbit. So this is what a general structure of a rocket might look like. Now, going to the next slide, we have the structure of a propulsion system. Now, this is a structure of a liquid propulsion system. Now, there is a big difference between propulsion systems that's solid and liquid, which we will be looking into towards the end of this presentation. So as you can see, I just wanted to just focus on what is given written on the left side. As we can see in a propulsion system in general, we have a fuel and oxidizer. So in a rocket propellant, it's actually a mixture of two things, that's fuel and oxidizer. And these two things are actually either ignited from externally or actually, starts reacting once it is combined together, like the hypergolic fuels that we use in a combustion chamber, from where a lot of chemical reaction takes place. And finally, this chemical reaction makes a rocket to move upwards. And what happens physically will be something that we'll be looking into in the later slides. So this is what happens chemically. When the oxidizer and the fuel is combined, if an external ignition is required, we are giving it, well, we get a total blast, total explosion in a way. And there are a lot of things related to this particular field, like the field related with rocket propulsion is a big thing, and we'll be touching some of the aspects of it, although we won't be able to cover almost everything about it. So this is what happens chemically. The oxidizer and fuel combines and results in the rocket propulsion. So what's happening physically? So in the year of 1687, something was published, considered to be one of the biggest manifestation of human imagination and creativity. What is considered to be one of the greatest work in the history of science, and also can be considered as the Bible of physics, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica by Sir Isaac Newton. Now, it consists of a lot of things, but primarily we have the laws of motion and the universal law of gravitation. Now, universal law of gravitation is something that goes like, every object in the universe attract each other with a force whose magnitude is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Now, this law has a lot of consequences in our daily life. And it's actually, in this presentation, I'm not going into universal law of gravitation, although it plays some role in rocket launch. What I'm going to focus on instead is the laws of motion. Well, as we know, there are 3 laws of motion. And the first one says that it's like an assertion that inertial systems exist. Which means that if we have an isolated system which is actually developed any sort of influence from an external body or any sort of external force, we can say that if you have an object like that, the object will continue in a state of rest or motion until and unless an external force acts on it. That is, an external force is required to actually accelerate the object. If there is no external force, the object will continue to be in its state. Now, it can be used to describe the cause of laziness in a way. Like if you're lazy, then someone external is required to actually make you active. This is something that we all experience in our daily life. And coming to the second law, it actually gives a quantitative description for the force. As you can see, it's a simple equation, F is equal to ma, with a lot of consequences. So it's a quantitative description of the force, and it can be stated in such a way that it can be stated that force equals mass times acceleration. Or we can say that the force experienced by, or the force exerted is actually equal to the rate of change of momentum, directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Now, second law has a lot of consequences. It's like the most important law of all three. And then we have the third law, which actually describes the reason for the recoiling of a gun after fire. So it actually states that forces always exist in pairs. That's action and reaction. So for each and every action, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. Now, third law actually supports second law in all ways, as we shall see in the case of rocket, how the third law comes into play. Now, this is another thing that we have in rockets, conservation of linear momentum. Now, we know what momentum is. Momentum is nothing but the product of mass and velocity. And the thing that we are going to use today to actually, the basic principle that helps a rocket to propel, we can say, is the conservation of linear momentum. Now, the statement is something like this. If no external force acts on a system, the total linear momentum of P of the system do not change. That is, if we have a system which is completely isolated and closed in the sense that there is no reduction in its mass or addition in its mass, it's completely isolated and there is no external force acting on it, we can say that the linear momentum of the system do not change with time. Or we can say that linear momentum is conserved, which can be mathematically expressed as Pi equals Pf, that's linear momentum initial is equal to final linear momentum. Now, how does this apply to rockets? Well, we know, as we mentioned in the earlier slide, that inside a propulsion system, oxidizer and the fuel actually combine to produce the required thrust. So what happens is that when this reaction takes place, a particular amount of mass is formed as a product. So also along with that, a vast amount of energy is being released. So when this process takes place, this mass or this product is actually pushed downwards towards the earth through the nozzle with such a tremendous amount of force that it comes out in a hot stream of jet. And as we know, this is where Newton's third law comes into play. So as per Newton's third law, it stated that for each and every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, or forces always occur in pair. So once a force is being exerted on this product, a force is actually reacting, which is actually hitting the rocket, which makes the rocket to move upwards. So after this, what happens is interesting. So considering the rocket, initially the rocket had considering the rocket as a system, we can say that initially its momentum was 0, since it was not down moving and its velocity was 0. But we know once this process of combustion takes place and once the propellants are started put into use, we can say that there is a considerable change in mass over time. So what happens is that initially, since the rocket was at rest, we can say the initial momentum of the rocket was 0. Here we can say that the mass of the rocket is capital M and velocity is capital V. Meanwhile, the mass of the product is actually small m and velocity of the product is actually small v. So initially, both of these were in the state of rest, which means that there was no velocity, and as a result, its momentum was 0. But we know as time progresses and combustion takes place, and once these products are actually pushed outwards, actually a change in momentum takes place. And we can see that the final momentum will be equal to the mass of the rocket times velocity of the rocket minus mass of the product times velocity of the rocket. Well, we have a minus sign here to indicate that the mass is being thrown outwards in the opposite direction. Now, we know as per the conservation of linear momentum that initial momentum will be always equal to final momentum. So by equating the both sides, we get an equation as we can see here in the fourth line. 0 equals mv minus mv. And therefore, we can say that mass of the rocket times velocity of rocket, it will be giving the same as the mass of the product times mass of the velocity of the product. Or we can say that the momentum of the rocket is equal to the momentum of the product. So from this particular equation, we can actually rearrange into such a form that we can actually identify the velocity of the rocket. So from this particular equation that we have in the bottom of the screen, we can actually say the rocket is accelerating. Now we know if we are actually someone who is standing in space and ISS is actually in front of us, and we have a hammer in our hand. So how do we get to the ISS using the hammer? Well, the only way we can do that is actually throw the hammer in the opposite direction so that we can move in the opposite direction. We can get an opposite force and move towards ISS. Now, the thing is that which way do we want to throw the hammer? Now, while we are throwing it, we can have two options. Either we can throw it in a soft way or we can throw it in a hard way. So doing it with the hard way, we apply much more force. As a result, we'll get much more better reaction force. As a result, we'll move faster. Similarly, in case of rocket, if the rocket needs to be propelled, the mass or the product should be ejected out through the nozzle with such a high velocity. So we can say that the velocity with which the product is being ejected out of the rocket is high. Now we know as time progresses, the mass of reactants, the mass of the product that's being formed or that's being ejected out of the rocket increases. And as a consequence, we know that the overall mass of the rocket, which was actually the sum of mass of the propellants as well as all the parts of the rocket together combined, will be decreasing. Well, since the mass of the propellant is being reduced or being used up and being ejected downwards. So as a result, the mass of the rocket will decrease. So we can clearly identify from this fact that the velocity is increasing. As time progresses, more mass will be ejected out of this rocket, as more products will be ejected out, and as a consequence, the mass of the rocket decreases. So in such a state, we can say that the velocity is varying with time. So the rate of change of velocity is nothing but the acceleration. So we can say that the rocket is accelerating in the upward direction. So this thing is a lot interesting in different ways, and a lot of questions might come from this part. But for the time being, let us move on. And next slide, we have a few images of rocket propulsion. Actually, this whole stream of jet here you see is actually pushing the rocket upwards and moving. As a result, the rocket is moving upwards. So these are some images of that phenomenon. And coming to the next slide, we have a slide displaying the basic differences between solid and liquid system. Now, I would like to make it clear here that solid and the propulsion system, as I mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, is something like a big topic, and I'm not actually covering almost any of it, almost all part. I'm actually testing it and going ahead. So we can say that there is quite a bit of difference between liquid propulsion system and solid propulsion system. So as we saw in the earlier slide, when I was trying to describe what a propulsion system is, I actually used the structure of a liquid propulsion system, like as you can see in the image that's on the extreme left. So actually in liquid propulsion, the fuel and the oxidizer, which are actually combined together to produce the reaction or to produce the force that is required to propel the rocket, are actually stored in entirely different tanks. And using pumps, they are actually
exactly timing.
okay. All right. Then using pumps, actually they are pulled into the combustion chamber where the reaction takes place, and finally the rocket pushes. And in case of solid propellant, as you can see, the structure is entirely different from liquid propulsion system. Well, it's much more simple than liquid propulsion system for one thing. And in this case, we have solid
Can I interrupt for you a second?
Oh.
Make it fast because we are running out of time actually.
Or
it's okay. Fine. You present it, but make it little fast.
All right. So as you can see, there is a big difference between liquid propulsion system and solid propulsion system in basic structure. So we can say that the liquid ones are a bit more complex than the solid ones. But both of these together are being used in almost each and every rocket. Say we have a PSLV in which we have 4 stages, beginning with a solid stage and liquid, then solid, and again back to liquid. Or we have GSLV, which initially starts off with a solid stage and later a liquid stage, and finally a cryogenic stage. So as we can see, both together are being used. And liquid ones are considered to be much more efficient due to a number of reasons, which I'm not getting into it right now because it's a bit more vast subject. And another important feature of liquid propellants and solid propellants are actually liquid propulsion system, by the basic structure itself, it can be controlled since we are actually not mixing the fuels together. It's actually stored in entirely different things, and we are using pumps to actually regulate the flow of liquid fuel and liquid oxidizer into the combustion chamber. But in case of solid propulsion system, we are actually having solid fuel and oxidizer mixed together, and we are actually giving an external ignition to actually spark the reaction. Meanwhile, in liquid propulsion system, depending upon what it is, can either be hypergolic, that is actually the propulsion system which uses hypergolic fuel, that is whenever the fuel and oxidizer combines, the reaction takes place, or we can have liquid system in which an external ignition might be required to produce the reaction. So there is a lot of things going on in solid and liquid propulsion system, and due to time constraints, I won't be getting into it much in depth. And this is what the complete picture looks like. Like a rocket initially launches from its pad, and later they will be having stages, which can be 3 or 4 depending upon the rocket. And by the time it reaches the uppermost point, as we can see, it will have acquired the required velocity to maintain an orbit. And at this stage, the satellite is actually separated from the rocket. And another interesting thing that actually keep in mind is that something that almost each and every single ISRO veterans and working scientists whoever came here mentioned, that always something else is required along with hard work in case of rocketry, that is accuracy and precision. And if we actually lose in that particular field, we lose the mission, and actually the impact will be an absolute catastrophe, not only physically to the rocket, but also to mentally to each and everyone who actually worked behind it. So that's actually the end of my presentation, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for listening to this. And I know time is actually running, and I have a doubt that I have made a lot of mistakes in between. If I have made, please do correct me after this presentation. And without saying much, I'm concluding. Thank you, and also best wishes for my best friend Abhiram TP for his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Navneet, for your wonderful presentation. I know but sir have some mistakes to correct, but for the time being, we have already crossed the Indian structural time. So without any delay, I am going to Abhiram for his presentation. After the end of the presentation, we can discuss both of these. Abhiram. Abhiram.
Abhinandan, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. The presentation is okay, right?
Yeah, it's visible. It's okay.
Honorable Mentor Kuti sir, Vivin Krishnamurthy sir, Rameshan sir, PJ Bhatt sir, Shajil sir, Arya Ji, Sundarajan sir, Ajit sir, Padmanabhan sir, Jyoti Basu sir, the scientists and engineers from ISRO and related agencies, the respected personalities like Baiju sir, teachers, and your friends. First of all, good afternoon to all. I want to use this time to congratulate our Guru Shajil sir and our great motivator Aryaji for achieving great heights in their life. About Shajil sir, I think there is no need to say about Shajil sir in this platform. Actually, he's a career guru, teacher, motivator, and more than these whole things, he's a really great lover of science. When we are saying about Arij, it will be hard to me to say about her because she always amazed us. If we are in the position of her, we will think that I am a useless fellow and I can't do it. But she thought differently. Why can't change my life? Why I can't create a beautiful world? So a great salute to both of them. About me, today is a big day because I got a chance to present my simple and very crazy idea in front of you all. Actually, I was never expected to present a small presentation in such a program. So, sorry, myself, Abhiram TP. Actually, I'm not 11th standard or 10th standard student. I just passed the 10th and I'm a member of UL Space Club. That's all about me. So, let us start without any delay. My presentation or this project is titled as NDMSS, Natural Disaster Management Satellite System. The motto of this project is Space Tech for a Better Tomorrow. As you can expect, the aim of this project is to decrease the depth of natural disasters in our world, in our future world. As all of us know, our humanity is facing a countless number of issues in the present time. We are struggling now with COVID-19. In Malayalam, we will say, "Idi vettiyavane paambu kadichu." Just like that, the presence of Nipah along with Corona in Kerala is raising a big question mark. But we are humans. We will definitely overcome these all issues. A new world for us is eagerly waiting. So, if we check the list of these issues which raised in front of the humanity, the lion's share goes to natural disasters. Can we permanently stop this? No, it's not possible. It's a natural phenomenon. But we can decrease the depth of the disasters. For that, we send so many satellites to predict the very slightest changes in nature. These systems are providing so many details and warnings for us. But the question is, the informations from these weather updating satellites are passing through the base layer of society? The simple answer is a big no. The previous hockey disaster in Kerala and also Tamil Nadu is an example of that. In 2018, in the flood in Kerala, we lost 483 people and 14 are still missing. The damage which the flood gave to Kerala is almost 400,000 crores. Drama of zeros. In 2019, we lost 11,755 people from the world due to natural disasters. The most dangerous factor is that 20% of the death is in India. These all factors are the base of this project. The next month, we are going to celebrate World Space Week. In the previous year, this was the motto of World Space Week: Satellites Improve Life. In this platform, I think there is no need of a vast description about this. As we know, we are using the advantages of satellite in our life for navigation, communication, education, etc. That's why we gave this motto to World Space Week 2020. As I told, we are facing so many issues related to natural disasters, not only in the direct effects, but also the after effects of these natural disasters. Natural disasters like landslide, flood, drought, forest fire, etc., is taking so many lives and appearing as a thanatos or something like that in front of the humanity. This is creating so many big issues for the sustainability of our mother nature. As I told, we can't stop this because we can't even resist the ultimate power of nature. In this situation, we need a solution which is not going to harm the nature as well as humans. That's why we molded this project like this. How? Let us check that what is NDMSS. NDMSS is a factual warning system which can use the advantages of space as well as terrain or ground. Even in a landslide, flood, sunstroke or forest and more, NDMSS can give accurate and factual warning to the public. It's relatively inexpensive one with high accuracy. How? For understanding this, let us take the working principle of the system in the situation of landslide. Is the most dangerous natural disaster in Kerala. We face so many landslides like Kattipara, Puttumala, Kavalapara, etc. So, landslide actually takes place in the geographical structures which have slant more than 30 degrees. And also, the possibility of landslide is depends upon the structure of soil and also the type of plants present on that area. And also, needless to say, the unscientific constructions will cause to landslide. In Kattipara, that's what happened. Let us move to the solution. To predict the landslide, we will put a tower which can measure the pressure under the soil and the water content inside that place. If both will increase heavily and will it cause to the landslide, before 4 hours, the tower will send a signal to satellite which is orbiting above that particular region. Then the satellite will receive the signal and transmit it to the control cell which is responsible for the natural disaster rescue missions. So they will take care of that area. At the same time, the message from satellite will be also delivered to all mobile phones which registered under that tower. Then the control cell will evacuate them to the relief camps. This is the basic function of NDMSs. Then the next situation, flood. Needless to say, flood is mainly due to the heavy rain. The minor landslides inside the forest and the overflow of underground water. These both factors will cause to the rise of water level and flow rate of water in a river. In the previous, okay. In the previous 2-3 years, our cities and villages related to rivers like Periyar were sunk under the water. To solve this problem,
You continue, no problem.
To solve this issue, we will put a small tower near the river. It will equipped with the sensors which can measure the water level and also the water flow rate. When the water level enters the floodplain and also rising with very high flow rate, the tower will send a message to the satellite over that region. And the further procedures will be just like the previous one. But in this case, we will get only a very small time because the rising of water will be much rapid. Then the next one, a prehistoric killing machine, forest fire. As we know, the forest fire is a big issue which can even swallow this whole world. It's like a black hole.
കൊറോണയുടെ വാക്സിൻ എടുത്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു.
അഭിനന്ദേട്ടാ
മൈക്ക് സോറി.
It's okay. So, okay. Countries like US, Canada, Brazil, and also India, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, etc. These whole regions are facing this issue, which was caused to the death of so many people and also so many innocent animals. A place after forest fire will be just like a new Hiroshima or a new Nagasaki. Mainly, the forest fire is due to the global warming and the influence of humans in the fragile ecosystem. To this, we will put a small tower which will take only a small amount of land, which can scan a very high range with thermal sensors or thermal scanners. If it will able to spot a very small fire, it will send the signal to the satellite and from satellite to the control facility. And also to the public under that tower and the authorities related to the forest department. That's all about the forest fire. Then the next one. This will be also the most familiar problem to the students, especially in Kerala. The encountering of wild animals like wild boar, elephant, monkey, porcupine, etc. To the field, which made with the sweat of many years or decades. Actually, this is not the issue of the animals. They are not terrorists or they are not criminals. We just destroyed their system. Then they have only this way to get food. To solve this problem, we will set the fence in the boundaries of the field without electric current. I stressed in electric current because when we are saying about the fences in the boundaries of fields in Kerala, electric current is one of the most necessary thing. So in that sense, we will set up sensors which can detect the presence of any animals like monkey, boar, elephant, or etc. If it detect an animal, they will send a direct signal to an alarm system, which placed at the center of the field. It will make sound with high volume. At the same time, this message will also send to the um, satellite, and it will transmit to the personal mobile number or mobile of the owner, which registered in this system. The most of the animals will get out when the alarm rings. So the owner can also take care of that issue. That's all about this issue. Then the next one, sunstroke, one of the major issue which faced by the common people or the farmers in India. This is a natural disaster with very bad side effects like skin cancer, etc. etc. To predict this, we will put one tower which can measure the atmospheric temperature and also the intensity of the sun's light. If it will rise above average, the system will send the message to the satellite. Then the satellite will receive the signal and transmit it to the control cell and also to the mobile phones under that region. So they will get enough time to find a secure shelter. These are the four example situations which I took to present here. The usages of NDMSs will be much more than my findings. So actually, this project is developed under the ideology of the father of Indian space program, Vikram Sarabhai. One day he told that when you apply a technology to the society, you must think that how much will it provide to the basic layer of the society. We just adopted it. In addition of this, I just added a structural diagram of the satellite. For this mission, we have decided to use CubeSats, but they have some issues. Let us discuss about that in the upcoming slides. This is a simple structure with one receiver, transmitter, solar panel, and RCS threshold. I also just developed a simple CAD model of the satellite, but I missed it from the database of that software due to some account issues. Sorry for that. Okay, when we are going to think about the satellite, we must design its orbit. That's the most important point, orbit. Then what about the orbit of NDMSs? As all of us know, we have a wide range of orbits which starts from Armstrong line and ends in the geotransfer orbit. In this, we had chosen some general orbits, LEO, MEO, and GEO. LEO is one of the smallest orbits of Earth with an altitude of below 1000 kilometers. Our ISS is in LEO, low Earth orbit. Then MEO, medium Earth orbit. It's an orbit between GEO and LEO with almost 12-hour time period. This orbit is selected for the GPS mission of NASA, as all of us know. This is a better choice for navigation satellites. Then geostationary orbit, the ideal orbit for communication satellites. The 24-hour time period of this orbit will help us to observe or provide service to a particular area. Which orbit can we choose? As we know, sometimes we will feel some issues from our communication satellites due to the bad weather, etc. So the geo is not a perfect one, right? We need 24-hour coverage. Then LEO, low Earth orbit. In LEO, we need a series of satellites to observe a particular area. So all the time. So the cost will increase, but the main point is the satellites in LEO are the most accurate satellites due to their altitude from ground. It will be much simple to receive and transmit signals. Then the final answer is MEO, medium Earth orbit. The orbit of GPS. We need the same facilities of GPS because the main target or the main objective of the satellite is to provide the exact location to the control facility. And also the weather issues are not going to make big issues in medium Earth orbit. I told in the starting itself that we are gonna use CubeSats. Why? The main reason is nothing but space debris. CubeSat, nanosat, these all are the answers for the space debris disaster. It's also a disaster. Oh, very huge satellites are the causes of the space debris. And also, very low cost and simple operation of CubeSats are the factors which are attracting the new generation of space scientists to them. Okay, Kuti sir and Krishnamurti sir, they all are also at the age of 20 with their approach to students and their mentality. Okay, but the CubeSats also have the cons like low working capacity and limits of the area, and also it has the limitation to accommodate payload or machines. From the starting itself, I presented the basic functions or expectations and the technical side of the system. Then, what are the advantages of this NDMSs, or what is the social effect of NDMSs? The first one, as I taught, the system can decrease the depth of natural disasters. Then the second one, relatively inexpensive one. And the third one, a temporary solution for the natural disasters. The fourth one, through this, we can spread the roots of space technology in the basic layer of society. The last and the most important one, we can decrease the cost of relief camps and the possibility of infectious disease in relief camps. This is the most important point. First, to studying about the possibility of this, we were visited the landslide spot in Katipara. We were just amazed. A very wide area itself slides into an average populated area with heavy rocks, soil, etc. etc. We reached at the top of that hill and took the examples of soil and plants. Soil was mixed with the content of sand of the rocks, and the plants which grew there after a year, it maybe grew from the
Yeah.
seeds which were also came to here there with the soil. There was an artificial pond which made by a private person, which increased the depth of that landslide. After that, we visited the houses near that spot. Then they told us that they didn't even got any warning from the police or from the government before that time. That's why we need a system like NDMSs. We were planned to visit Putumala, but due to the rise of COVID-19, the situation doesn't allow us. So that's all. I took some more time, which allowed to me. Actually, so before I conclude, I want to say thanks for our mentor, Ikuti sir, for supporting us. Then Jairam sir, who provided me a lot of information about the satellites and the communication bands. Then thanks for Ashwin Sagar from Pune IITM for helping me to analyze the soil samples and plant specimen. And thanks for Akshay Sunil for providing me all the support to develop this project. And thanks for Abhinandan, Varnat, Febin, Navid, and all who heard me for this small time. Actually, I doesn't consider it as a perfect one. It's only a crazy idea. So I expect the positives and more than positives, I need to get the negative points. It will be more helpful. So from the veterans like Bhatt sir, Krishnamurti sir, all. And that's all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abhiram. It's a wonderful presentation. Even though we are running out of a very schedule, we would like to know about the comments from Krishnamurti sir and Bhatt sir. Krishnamurti sir, can you?
Yeah, first of all, I should compliment the club to give such an opportunity for youngsters to think and read and present from their viewpoint. And first of all, Arya is beyond, okay, because she has a thinking process, accumulation of information, and the way she is projecting, that's something great. Okay, it's a learning experience for me in a short time with few words, how we can explain the future dimensions in space research, especially for exploring life in other planets. That's amazing, this thing. And maybe she is aware that we have also a program on exoplanets, which is starting with a satellite going to be placed. So there's a team which is already working on it. Maybe we'll link her with some of those people so they can also hear from her and learn the viewpoints from her perspective. Then the other two speakers have expressed well in their own area, the way they understood. There are some limitations, no problem. But then first you are thinking. That the most important is their thinking. And especially for Abhiram, maybe I will, since time is short, at a certain time, you can share my mobile number, Kuti sir and or Shajil. I will speak to him to tell him that what all things are all available, but only for, since a group still 30 people are there, we all should understand nature goes in a particular pattern. And we have today so many observation satellites are available, which is giving huge amount of information. And if you are data, and if you are able to, we are processing this data and giving an early warning system. For example, the heat waves. Okay, now IMD always gives this heat wave, this thing. Or for landslide, there is what is called landslide hazard zonations have been made. That means these are the areas where landslides are going to happen. And in when the rainfall increases, or in certain conditions, what will happen. Or forest fire monitoring. That information now is going to the respective, in India specifically, to the range officers, where exactly what is happening. That information goes to their mobile phones. That is the information is there. But there's a lot of work to do. See, we need people like you to think, because there is a different dimension for each one. It is not that how we identify a location, but how it is going to be propagated and how much advance we can give this information. Please understand that. That is, it's not instantaneous. Can I give 24 hours in advance, 72 hours in advance, so that well we are prepared in such. And don't compare with the forest fires, what is happening in Australia and California. Okay, they are a different type of forest. Luckily in India, we have a lot of heterogeneity. Because of heterogeneity, we have certain patches. It is not also the fire, what we call as, there's a gaps in each of the fire areas, each of the compartments. Okay, they are well managed, then we control the fires. Actually, that sometimes I also get surprised why they are unable to control the forest fires. Whereas in India, we control forest fires. There are fires, but there are not that which is naturally also it is controlled. So each of the subjects which you are touched, there's an idea, but also you should think if you have a sensor, straight away sending to satellite, also receiving at satellite is not possible because these signals are very weak, okay, very feeble. That's what we have to understand. So we should think about alternate methods in doing it. For all of your young minds is, yes, whatever you're thinking is possible, but there are a lot of limitations at certain points, how we can come out of that. We can have certain discussions. Especially for Abhiram, I will talk to him separately, maybe after 15th or 16th of this month, so that his doubts I'll clarify, and then so that he can go forward. First of all, it's an excellent session, though it is stretched, but it is enriching and rejuvenating for people like me, and feeling happy that we are in the country is in safe hands because of the people, youngsters who are thinking, and they will lead our country into bigger heights and take it more better to looking after the welfare of the people and also making a good life for each one. Thank you once again for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for great words, and we are honored with your words. I would like to invite Bhatt sir for his comments.
Yeah, it was a very nice experience listening to 3 presentations. About Arya's presentation, anyway, I expressed my comments, so let me skip. Of course, it was beyond our expectation. Okay, it was an excellent presentation. Remaining 2 were also good, with good effort. In fact, Navneet's, it so happens that Navneet's presentation during the inauguration of Wings of Fire part, I had heard that, and some comments which were given at that time by me and some others. Very happy to see he has incorporated those comments and improved the presentation. I like this aspect amongst the students, the learning from the process, and then it was a good coverage of aspects related to rocket science. And of course, I know he had some more slides, including things related to electrical propulsion and all that, but due to want of time, we could not cover. So definitely build on this, Navneet. Is a good job done. Abhiram, anyway, the best person who can comment on this is Dr. Krishnamurthy, and he has already done it. Only I would like to add one point to this is, this is a good presentation from the point of view of learning process for a student satellite, definitely. but directly, thinking of attaching it to an application, ultimate application, I think there are a lot of things to be done in that. Second point is the orbit choice. I think one has to see from the point of view perspective of what is the coverage and what is the repeativity, what kind of frequency with which you want to observe, and how much area you want to see, and so many things. And communication, as rightly Dr. Krishnamurthy told, so many things are there. And when you come to QSAT, of course, there are many things which you talk of geo, MEO, and all that. So one should be very careful. So I appreciate you for the kind of you team for the kind of effort you have put in for learning the aspects related to satellites. And let me wish all the best for your team. And let me wish one day UL Space Club student followers and other students together make a satellite and make it a reality. So wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great and inspiring words. Now I would like to invite Padmanabhan sir for his comments on the presentation.
Hello, thank you. The best thing I thought about is, there is a thinking process among the students about the high-end technology. And we don't expect them to come out immediately as space scientist or application scientist, but there is a thinking process by which this knowledge will percolate into the student community. And this is a very, very good objective of UL Space Club, and it is doing its job. As far as the presentations are concerned, it was timely, it was well done. They have researched, they have collected information, but of course, within your limitations, there are understandable limitations which you can overcome. What is important is the start of that. You carry on, you will become very, very good presentators, and you will become very good administrators in space. Like disaster management is a very, very big area. Nation is looking for that, and rocketry. So these are all, and of course, Arya's presentation, we already commended it. So it is one of the three most important subjects. Wish you all the best. Continue your work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great words. Now I would like to invite Kutti sir, our mentor, our whole and soul, to conclude this.
Thank you, Abhinand. I am very, very sorry, extremely sorry. I am deprived of listening to this great talk by the three students for a different reason. We are in ULCCS headquarters with its president, secretary, etc. And Arya Raj is also here with her parents. And we have got that justice and IIT professor and two other people who are advising us about Arya Raj's health issues as well as her academic progress. So we got tied up with that discussion and how to go forward on that. Immediately on 17th, she has a test in ISER admission, and that she's there is some difficulties for appearing that on 17th with a scribe. So that issue we were to try to see how to handle that problem. So, and then in addition further things, so we couldn't get time to it, but I'm so much excited to see that persons, great persons like Krishnamurthy, PJ Bhatt, Papan, etc. are sitting so so many hours together and trying to encourage our students, motivate them, and help them come out with their idea. So I am extremely happy that this three students got opportunity of getting guided by these three stalwarts and others also in that. So I feel today has been a very nice day because students have been able to showcase their talent and get a confidence that they will be able to make a good career as a scientist as they grow. So thank you very much, YVNK, PJ Bhatt, Papan, and all the 3 students who gave presentations, and all the students who are here participating in this program. Thank you very much. Abhinand, please go ahead.
Can you make an announcement about the Space Week celebration?
Yeah, Space Week celebrations. No, Varun will talk about it. Varun is here. Just say something, Varun. Varun, you be here.
Varun, your mic is muted. Just unmute it.
Thank you. So I'm very glad to announce about the Space Week celebration going to be conducted by UL Space Club with the help of IAST, our respected chief guest, YVN Krishnamurthy sir. So we are going to celebrate our Space Week, World Space Week 2021, along with the schools of our nearby places. We are going to conduct webinars on registered schools. Schools can visit our website and they can register through our website for program, and we will conduct webinars at the schools, and these registered schools, the students of this registered school can attend in different programs, competitions conducted by UL Space Club. It will be about a quiz competition, essay writing competition, and a project competition. Our project competition is named as Breakfast, and a team of 4 students from each school can attend this competition, and we will make a final round under the observation of UL Space Club, and we will find a winner, and winners will get exciting prizes. And more than that, we will have a skywatch session along with an astronomy session under the guidance of Surendra Gunashiri sir, who is a member of our Sky Safari team. And after that, our main session of Space Week celebration will be conducted in connection with IAST. A resource person, an expert from IAST will join us, and they spoke to us on an interesting topic. And our honorable chief guest, YVN Krishnamurthy sir, will also be there, and all our mentors will be there. The results of competitions will be also announced at that ceremony. So that's all about our Space Week celebration. I request all students to participate and all students to request their teachers for registering in the name of their schools. So let's make it as a grand function, one of the best functions that UL Space Club ever conducted. Thank you, Abhinand.
Thank you, Varun. There is a grand Space Week celebration is going to come. So without any delay, I'm inviting our Soman sir for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Abhinand. Puralangal Labour Society-യുടെ ബഹുമാന്യനായ ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ പാലേരി രമേശൻ, UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ചീഫ് മെന്ററായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടി സാർ, ശ്രീ ഷജിൽ സാർ, ULCCS മാനേജിംഗ് ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീ ഷാജു എസ്, വെബിനാറിലെ ചീഫ് ഗസ്റ്റും ജൂറികളുമായ ഡോക്ടർ YVN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി സാർ, ശ്രീ PJ ഭട്ട് സാർ, ഈ വെബിനാറിൽ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികളെ മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനും അവാർഡ് ജേതാക്കളെ അനുമോദി സംസാരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്ത ശ്രീ ബിജു സാർ, ഡോക്ടർ ജ്യോതിബ സാർ, ഡോക്ടർ പത്മനാഭൻ സാർ, ഡോക്ടർ റോഷിൻ ബജ്ലി, ഡോക്ടർ വിനോദ് പ്രസാദ്, ഡോക്ടർ ഷാഹിൻ, അതുപോലെ PS അഭിനന്ദ്, അതേപോലെ ഈ ചടങ്ങിൽ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന ആര്യരാജനെ എല്ലാവിധ സപ്പോർട്ടും കൊടുക്കുന്ന ശ്രീ ആര്യരാജിന്റെ മാതാപിതാക്കളായ രാജീവ്, പുഷ്പജ എന്നിവരും, അതുപോലെ ഈ വെബിനാറിൽ പ്രബന്ധം അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആര്യരാജ്, നവനീത്, അഭിരാം TP എന്നിവർക്കും ഇവിടെ സംസാരിച്ച അഭിനന്ദിനും, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇതിലെ ദാമോദർ മാസ്റ്റർ, സന്ദേശ് തുടങ്ങി ഈ വെബിനാർ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, ഇന്ന് ULCCSന്റെ ഹെഡ് ഓഫീസിൽ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആദരിക്കൽ ചടങ്ങിലും പ്രബന്ധ അവതരണ യോഗത്തിലും അധ്യക്ഷം വഹിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടി സാറാണ്. ISROയിൽ നിന്നും വിരമിച്ച ശേഷം കോഴിക്കോട്ടും കേരളത്തിലെ ഇതര ജില്ലകളിലും ബഹിരാകാശ കുതികളും ശാസ്ത്രബോധവുമുള്ള മിടുക്കരായ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ കണ്ടെത്തുന്നതിനും അവർക്ക് മികച്ച കോച്ചിങ് സൗകര്യങ്ങളും മറ്റും ഏർപ്പെടുത്തുന്നതിൽ ബദ്ധശ്രദ്ധനായിരിക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടി സാർ വാഗ്ബടാനന്ദ പ്രോജക്റ്റിന്റെ പ്രവർത്തനത്തിലും US സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ രൂപീകരണം മുതലുള്ള പ്രവർത്തനത്തിലും നേതൃത്വം കൊടുത്ത് പ്രവർത്തിച്ചു വരികയാണ്. വിദ്യാലയങ്ങളും മറ്റും അടഞ്ഞുകിടക്കുന്ന ഈ കോവിഡ് മഹാമാരിയുടെ ഈ കാലത്തും ഇന്ത്യയിലെ വിദേശ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന പ്രഗത്ഭരായ ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞന്മാരുടെ ക്ലാസുകൾ ഓൺലൈൻ മാർഗം നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ലഭ്യമാക്കാൻ നേതൃത്വം കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന US സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ചീഫ് മെന്റർ കൂടിയായ കുട്ടി സാറിന് വാഗ്ബടാനന്ദ പ്രോജക്റ്റിന്റെയും സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെയും പേരിൽ ഹൃദയപൂർണമായ നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. ഈ യോഗം ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് ULCCSന്റെ ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ പാലേരി രമേശൻ അവർകളാണ്. 1995 മുതൽ ഈ സംഘത്തിന്റെ ഭരണസാരഥ്യം ഏറ്റെടുത്ത് സംഘത്തെ തൊഴിലാളികൾക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ തന്നെ ക്ഷേമൈശ്വര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി രൂപപ്പെടുത്തിയെടുക്കുന്നതിൽ മുഖ്യ പങ്ക് വഹിക്കുന്ന ശ്രീ പാലേരി രമേശൻ അവർക്ക് ഹൃദയംഗമായ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഈ ചടങ്ങിൽ നമ്മൾ ആദരിക്കുന്ന ശ്രീ ഷജിൽ സാർ അർഹതയ്ക്കുള്ള അംഗീകാരം കൂടിയാണ് നേടിയാണ് ഇവിടെ എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ വർഷത്തെ അധ്യാപക അവാർഡ് നേടിയ ഷജിൽ മാസ്റ്റർ ബാലശ്ശേരി ഹൈസ്കൂൾ അധ്യാപകനും UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ മെന്ററുമാണ്. ശ്രീ ഷജിൽ മാസ്റ്റർക്ക് EIPയുടെയും സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെയും ഹൃദയംഗമായ നന്ദി. ഈ ചടങ്ങിൽ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന ULCCS മാനേജിംഗ് ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീ S. ഷാജു, ULCCSന്റെ മുന്നോട്ടേക്കുള്ള പ്രയാണത്തിന്റെ ഊർജ്ജസ്രോതസ്സായി നമ്മുടെ ചെയർമാനോടൊപ്പം പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ശ്രീ ഷാജു എസിനും ഔപചാരികതയുടെ പേരിൽ ഞാൻ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഈ ചടങ്ങിൽ ആദരിക്കുന്ന മറ്റൊരു വ്യക്തി കൂടിയാണ് ആര്യ രാജ്. ഏതൊരു കുട്ടിയും ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന മികച്ച വിജയവുമായാണ് 1200 മാർക്ക് നേടി ആര്യ രാജ് ഇവിടെ എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഡൽഹിയിൽ വെച്ച് നടന്ന അഖിലേന്ത്യാ സയൻസ് എക്സിബിഷനിൽ ULSS ഗ്രൂപ്പിന്റെ പങ്കെടുത്ത ആര്യ രാജ് ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ നടക്കുന്ന വെബിനാറിൽ പ്രബന്ധം അവതരിപ്പിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കുന്നു. പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ആര്യ രാജിന് BIPയുടെ പേരിൽ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഓൺലൈനായി നടക്കുന്ന ഇന്നത്തെ വെബിനാറിൽ ചീഫ് ഗസ്റ്റും ജൂറിയുമായി നമ്മോട് സഹകരിക്കുന്ന IIST രജിസ്ട്രാർ ഡോക്ടർ YVN കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി സാറിന് സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ പേരിൽ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഈ വർഷത്തെ സ്പേസ് വീക്ക് സെലിബ്രേഷന് UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന് എല്ലാ സഹായം നൽകിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് കൃഷ്ണമൂർത്തി സാറാണ്. ISRO URSC ബാംഗ്ലൂർ മുൻ ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീ PJ ഭട്ട് സാർ ഇന്നത്തെ ചീഫ് ഗസ്റ്റ് ജൂറിയുമാണ്. ശ്രീ ഭട്ട് സാർ സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്കും നിശ്ചയമായ സഹായങ്ങൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് ലഭിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ശ്രീ ഭട്ട് സാറിന് US സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ ഹൃദയംഗമായ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഇന്ന് നടക്കുന്ന വെബിനാറിൽ പ്രബന്ധങ്ങൾ അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്ന നവനീതേഷ് അഭിരാം DPക്കും സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ പേരിൽ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. US സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ 2020 മെയ് മാസം 23 മുതൽ ഇന്നുവരെ നടന്ന ഇന്നുവരെ ധാരാളം 55ഓളം വെബിനാർ അവതരിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇതിൽ മോഡറേറ്ററായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന വരുൺ കേക്കും UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഈ യോഗത്തിൽ സ്വാഗതം പറഞ്ഞത് വാഗ്ബടാനന്ദ പ്രോജക്റ്റിന്റെ ചീഫ് കോർഡിനേറ്റർ ശ്രീ ദാമോദരൻ മാസ്റ്ററാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിനും ഔപചാരികതയുടെ പേരിൽ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. കൂടാതെ ഈ യോഗത്തിൽ ഓൺലൈനായി സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന ഡോക്ടർ സന്ദേശ്, അശ്വിൻ, ശംസുദ്ദീൻ തുടങ്ങി എല്ലാവർക്കും ഈ UL സ്പേസ് ക്ലബിന്റെയും BIPയുടെ പേരിൽ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. Once again, I thanks to all dignitaries who participate in the function. Thank you all.
Thank you all. We have already crossed all the limits of the time barrier. So with the permission of the chair, I would like to disperse the meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Someday we will encounter some aliens, then we can remember this meeting. Even though I'm a pessimist in life, when it comes to aliens, I'm an optimist. I think that the aliens may encounter us and they will be more compassionate because this technology should be so